Global infrastructure is crumbling this evening as the Nintenbyte Podcast continues its unprecedented rise. In cities across the globe, fans are rioting. The Pentagon has issued a statement describing the Nintenbyte Podcast network as a pixel-based prophecy. Some say the rise was foretold, others say it's just a really good podcast. We're talking twisted nipples, milk, and a sock puppet who doesn't talk.
It's dangerous to go alone. Watch this.
Welcome to the Nintenbyte Podcast, bitch.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the greatest Nintendo podcast ever! Yeah!
Is that a Joy-Con in your pants, or are you just happy to see us?
Shut up! Now feel the power. Everyone, do you feel that?
Oh my god, I feel it! I feel it too, Gamer. What is it?
It's the power of our podcast.
I feel it!
This is rad, Nintenbyte.
So rad.
Power. Now bask in their glory.
I'm Nintendo Brian. Oh, baby.
I'm Thunderstash.
I'm Gamebird Classic.
Nintenbyte rules.
Let's rock. You're muted, dude.
Oh,
Way to
man.
start the show. What
Way
a
to start
bust.
the 100th episode.
Yeah, humiliating. You should be.
Who
you should
muted
be
me?
ashamed.
One of you fuckers did it. Who
No.
did it? Who
I
did it?
didn't.
I didn't do shit.
I didn't
God
even know if
damn
we
it.
can do that.
Eric is just sitting
Yeah,
back.
you
eating.
guys have the power to mute me.
I've been eating the whole damn time.
Yeah, well, maybe that's the problem. Anyways, welcome everyone to the Nintenbyte Podcast, Season 3, Episode 39. More than that, it's actually the 100th episode of the Nintenbyte Podcast. Holy shit. Can you believe it? I'd even say it's 100 straight weeks, but it's not because we have bonus episodes in between with directs, but it's pretty damn close to 100 straight weeks. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's nearly 2 years.
Yep.
Just under 2 straight years of this show running. Oh my gosh. We are still in the top 5 most watched Nintendo podcasts in the world. Pretty crazy. I was just checking out the number 1 most watched Nintendo podcast in the world. It just came back recently, Nintendo. I saw them at 800 live. You guys know yesterday we peaked at 479 on my end. Adding Gamebird and Thunderstash, we're over 500 live. We're not that far off from creeping up those charts. We'll see what happens though as we continue this year. We're trying to bring you guys the best damn show we possibly can. We'll be reminiscing a little bit on the 100th episode, mostly for the aspect of the celebration, just talking about what this podcast means to us. Here we are a couple of years in, and Paul Gale can maybe tell us what it means to him because I have no idea. He's on this show sometimes. He's a co-host over on oh my god, I always forget the name, Mike's show, whatever the hell it is called on Friday. I always forget. Nintentopics podcast. That's right. Yeah, I always forget the name of it. But so yeah, he might have a little insights there. And then obviously, guys, for the most part, we're just talking about today's Nintendo Direct and the news surrounding the Direct and our feelings on that partner showcase Direct. And who knows, maybe what we think it might mean or might not mean for a potential of a general Direct coming.
Shit. You mean there was a direct today? Damn it, I knew I forgot something.
Well, you know,
Son of a
Eric,
bitch.
that's fine. I don't know how you could forget when
I was watching it with you guys.
Well,
Yeah.
there's that too, but Indiana Jones was in that Direct, and dude, I love Indiana Jones. I'm sorry, you guys know I don't replay games. I'm replaying Indiana Jones. It's happening. Anyways, let's go around the room just to let people know who the hell we are. If you don't know, this is your first ever episode. Plus, we have a guest. That guest is Paul Gale Network.
Not Bayonetta today.
Not Bayonetta. No Bayonetta today. That's okay.
Since you're introducing me, is that my cue to say hi?
Yeah, well, I mean, that was the idea, but you can just say nothing.
Well, let me turn off the lights and go get her. Okay, no, I won't. Oh, yeah, I'm Paul Gale. Second night in a row. Thank you for having me back on. It was neat to see almost all of our predictions last night come true in this morning's direct. Like almost all of them. Okay, not all, but we got some of them. We'll talk more about it. I'm looking forward to being here. I thought this morning's show was fun, and I'm excited to talk with you all about it.
Heck yeah. Then we, of course, got the Game Bird. Classic.
How we doing, people? You all know who I am. I am the legendary co-host on the Nintenbyte Podcast, one of the greatest Nintendo YouTubers of all time, the man of a million talents, Game Bird Classic. How we doing?
That's right. The Hammerfall shirt coming hard today.
Coming hard, baby.
Always. Eric. Hello.
I'm just a bit outside tonight,
okay, yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
All right, then we got Mr. Nintendo Power over there, Thunderstash Gaming.
You got me.
Figured it'd be appropriate for the 100th episode. Man, I'll tell you what. I'm a little tired.
Just a little.
Yeah, dude. Oh my
3
god.
hours of sleep over here. Woo.
Yeah. Happy to be here and discuss the discourse.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
The internet's aflame. Like it seems to be after every direct. Let's just be honest. There's like 3 directs in history.
Every time.
There's like 3 directs ever that people weren't like massively angry after. And of course, all of them were like either the Donkey Kong Bonanza direct last year. Everyone seemed to be pretty happy after that one. And then besides that, like the only other 2 I could think of were E3 directs. So like,
yeah, this has become tradition amongst the Nintendo community. So,
oh yeah, big tradition of shitting all over whatever Nintendo does, because apparently no presentation they ever do is good enough. Dude, this happened during the whole Switch generation, and yet the shit is at 155 million. The number one selling Nintendo platform of all time, 1.5 billion games sold, and yet somehow they just release terrible presentations all the time. But people keep buying stuff, so maybe the presentations aren't as bad as people think. I don't know. We'll talk about that as well. All right, guys, I'm Nintendo Prime. You guys know what's up. Cover the daily news and all of that. And today's news is obviously that Nintendo Direct. But before we dive into that, I want to make sure we get this out of the way because this is special. 100 episodes of this freaking show. That is insane. A lot of podcasts don't make it this far. And I feel like we're just getting started. I feel like an episode 1000 is in the future. I can just feel it. Just feel it. You got it. You start thinking about that shit. How many years away would that be?
I was going to say, yeah. How old would we be?
So it takes like 2 years to get like 100. You know?
So
holy crap! You do the math on that. It's a lot of years.
Yeah, nine more years. Almost
18 more years.
18 years. Yeah.
Yeah, I will. By the time we get to episode 1000, I will be practically 60. Holy shit. Let's not talk about that.
Right.
Yeah, I don't want to think about that.
Let's not worry about that.
The whole podcast. Have you guys ever see that meme? I feel like the whole podcast would be like that meme where it's like, it's like a elderly person saying, "When I was your age, Final Fantasy used to be turn based," and then it's like, "All right, Grandma, time for your nap now." You know?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, guys. So obviously 100 episodes. I figured it'd be nice to like go around the room, maybe like say one of our favorite memories from the show, whether you're someone watching or on it like Paul, or just like what the show also might mean to you as well. As apparently I literally double checked today. Again, still a top 5 Nintendo podcast in the world. How the fuck we did that? It must be the cream. It is what it is. The milk. That's everything. The greatest podcast intro ever is clearly what drove us to the top. So, Paul, let's start with you, the guest. What does the show mean to you? What's one of your favorite memories?
Well, I think the transition from the Nintendo Prime podcast to the Nintenbyte podcast was kind of my favorite part. It was just like finding out what did you want the new show to be. The old show was fun. It was a little bit different structured. You had, different people on. I was on that old podcast sometimes, but I think this is probably the best gelling of whom you have as a regular group of four, and the way the show is handled also, Nate, you have the biggest audience, but the show is kind of equally like a four-man team where you kind of feel that each person gets a proper amount of talk time. And I look at that and I value that. No one monopolizes the conversation. You will interrupt one another, not in a bad way, but you'll also allow one another to have like a 10-minute speech, a 10-minute speech, a 7-minute and 8-minute speech. And like, that's also cool. I like tuning in throughout the night. Most nights I can't watch 4 hours straight, but I do think that it is good. And that's one of my favorite things, like that this 4-hour piece of content does exist. Like I said, I can't tune in that much every Wednesday night, but the fact that it does exist is awesome because I see a lot of people. I see the channel continuing to grow. Favorite single thing? I don't know if I have a favorite single thing. In recent memory, I think Bayonetta being a guest was pretty cool.
That was a surprise. Yeah, I didn't even know that was going to happen. That's
I'm a little biased. You've had MEO on in the past.
Yeah.
No, but it's cool to be here. I'm glad that you have me on once in a while, and I'm proud of the show's development. I hope it continues. I hope that it gets to 1,000 a night. I don't doubt that it will. I think it's only moving on up. Oh, I think one of the coolest things. Maybe this was a favorite one. The get together that you all had and the follow up content after PAX East. That was cool because
PAX West. Yeah.
PAX West.
Did I say East? PAX West.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Thank you. PAX West, because like Steve and I have talked before and after, thanks to being on Indie Mania together and just behind the scenes talking. Eric and I, you have had quite a bit of conversations with me, whether I'm in the podcast or else how on X. Gamebird, we didn't meet until later, which was in person, which is pretty cool. Actually, of all of you, I've only met Gamebird in person at the Game Awards. And then Nate, we've been talking for several years, back and forth, IRL stuff, workout stuff, etc. So, considering you guys friends, but also a fan of the show, you kind of like, you get happiness out of other people's happiness, right? At least that's the way some people should. Some people are the opposite way. They see other people happy, succeeding. That's kind of where fanboy console warring comes from. Oh, my platform is not succeeding. I don't like that as a result. But most normal people, I think, are happy at other people's happiness. So when I see like, oh man, I'm a fan of this crew, and this crew got together at PAX West and had a good time and got to do these interviews and supply some pretty cool, insightful information on, oh, this is what I thought of Elden Ring. Oh, this is what I thought of this. Hey, we got to go behind the scenes and talk. Like, that might have been my favorite episode or time period beyond Bayonetta or MEO popping on. But in reality, like I said, I'm just happy that the show exists, that it's long. And yeah, congratulations on hitting 100. Maybe I should have put on my Nintendo Prime 100,000 t-shirt, which is something, But yeah.
The t-shirt that you helped me commission, and then I literally never bought one for myself.
I don't think you don't have your own shirt.
I was a full-time, guys. I was fresh being a full-time YouTuber, barely scraping by. My kids are eating good meals. I'm eating ramen like I'm back in college. And I could not afford the $20 for the t-shirt at the time. How the times have changed as I'm rocking full merch. Maybe I got to like republish that shirt just so I can have one.
Yeah.
By the way, that one was kind of cool because it was the 100K subscriber shirt, and it featured like all the guests we ever had at the time on the Nintendo Prime podcast, which was insane.
That's
that was
cool.
an insane art piece. Yeah.
Really cool.
All right, cool.
I
Thank you
have
so
to
much.
do a new one when you for another milestone.
No, okay, we'll see.
200K.
Ooh, it might be in the future. I mean, Stash is already there. He's gonna be like 500,000 before the end of the year. Let's just be honest. I know he'll know because his wife won't shut up about it,
And we won't shut up about it.
Yeah, 200K. I'm hoping that's my goal this year. We'll see what happens.
Pretty awesome. So congrats again. Anyways.
Yeah. So our newest co-host, and honestly, there will never be another. Gamebird, buddy. What's one of your favorite memories from the show, and what's this show mean to you?
Man, yeah, that's very hard to kind of pinpoint one thing. And I've talked a few times on the pod about, how much I appreciate this show, how much you guys mean to me, the audience means to me. So I can't just choose one. The memory's easy, I guess, because PAX West, like getting to meet all of you guys in person was just like a very priceless thing, not to mention all the opportunities, that came our way, all the games we got to play and test and do the private Nintendo meetup and lots of great memories. I got to, I love to express myself creatively with my content, and I've never done any vlog before. I've never even considered doing a vlog video before until this moment where it's like, oh shit, like we gotta document this, especially because we're meeting for the first time. So getting to do that and then hearing not just feedback from you guys and how much you enjoyed it, but hearing feedback from our audience, how fun it was, how it felt like they were there with us. I remember Sunbro Nation was on one episode. He's like, oh, I watched like half the vlog. He's like, it was so good. I felt like I was hanging out with you guys while I was watching it. And exactly what I was hoping that would happen. And all that trip did was make PAX West feel kind of like a second Christmas for me. And I'm anxiously awaiting the next event. So that one, as far as like a memory, is definitely at the top. But then, like, just getting to join the show for the first time and be welcomed in by everyone. Obviously, getting to meet amazing guests throughout the last year. Paul, you're one of them. A lot of amazing guests. We had Roger yesterday, Sunbro Nation. I already knew Andres prior. I already knew ATB prior, but I don't want to leave anyone out. N64 Josh. There's so many of them. Really great, awesome people that I've had the opportunity to meet over the last year, be able to call friends, and even get to collaborate on my own channel, which is, really exciting as well. But yeah, I don't know. I love it. This is my favorite thing that I do. I enjoy this. Like, it's very close. I love doing really weird skits, I'll be honest. But the next, it's like right there is I like the Nintenbyte, doing the Nintenbyte podcast more than I enjoy my own Nintendo content, because I feel like I'm hanging out with friends. It's not, I know it's so exciting to see this show grow and do well. And obviously I want it to, but I completely forget about all that stuff when we're in the podcast, and it's just me hanging out, talking Nintendo games with you guys. And it's just the coolest thing. And the audience is freaking amazing. That's here every week. And I've gotten to talk with really cool, great people, both on the podcast chat, on my own channel as well. Yeah, I don't know how to pick just one, but like I've said in the past, this is something that I look forward to every single week. I can't wait for Wednesdays. It's never a chore. It's always a highlight. So yeah, Nintenbyte rules.
There you go.
And thank you guys for the opportunity too. And I know I've already said that, but seriously, thank you for the opportunity to be here.
Yeah.
It feels like home.
There you go. We're going to go to Eric next. And what's really special about Eric, he's been podcasting with me since before I was even a YouTuber.
Oh boy.
Like, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
Almost a decade.
Yeah.
So
It's insane.
thoughts on the show, favorite memory?
Oh gosh. going through how many different iterations of everything, you know, not to knock any of the hosts in the past at all, because they've all been fantastic, but this feels like family. Not gonna lie, it's so much fun to come here, you know, not being a hardcore gamer, you know, of the group and things like that, and just giving my casual opinions, and you guys actually going, all right, yeah, that's valid, or you're an idiot and get out of here, which I will take as well. I love doing it.
Hell yeah.
Biggest thing is, you know, I would never ever would have imagined being a kid, you know, and you know, being able to go to like an E3 or a PAX or anything like that, and you know, just having the opportunity to do that, getting to meet people in your life, you know, you guys all here pretty much, you know, and then the fans. It is so wonderful to hear from everybody out there that, you know, well, from everybody that, you know, comes up to at least me, that they enjoy the show, and it helps them get through their day. It's helped them gotten through some hard times, you know, things like that. So yeah, you know, I love hearing that. You know, it makes me feel like something I do in life actually matters.
Damn.
Yeah. Don't forget the money. We love the money. The money's rolling in, guys.
Totally.
I'm making so much.
Nintendo.
I'm making
All
so much
Nintendo.
damn money doing this right now.
Getting rich. You're about to buy a second house, right?
Right.
Right?
Straight off podcast money. All right, Thunderstash, man. Your turn.
So, a lot of great memories, of course. I think the first thing I always think of is just how it all started, right? Because I think that it's a good story, and it was very, I guess you could say, random, but you know, looking back, we all know that things aren't random; things happen for a reason. But you know, this all started with the Nintenbyte Podcast when you had posted on Twitter that, you know, you needed a guest for tonight, and for anyone who's interested to hit up your DMs. And I'm like, I've seen your show before. I think I can definitely talk shop with you guys. Like, I have the knowledge for it. So I was like, I definitely don't have the subscriber count.
Especially way back then, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm like,
all creator back then.
yeah, I think I had like
following
600
Greenberg.
subs, maybe
Yeah, you were
5 or
following
6.
Greenberg. Yeah.
Yeah, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to shoot my shot anyways. And if he says no, like, I don't care. I totally understand. You know, I'm not the type to ever like hold that against someone either. I didn't even know if I'd get a reply, to be honest with you, because I've sent so many emails in the past to like game developers, and they don't even reply, you know, or to PR teams. I don't even get a response. So I was like, you know, whatever, shoot the shot. If I don't get a reply, it'll be like anything else right now where nobody replies. But to my surprise, you're like, you know, you said it was the stash, but then you also said you guys looked at the content and you're like, yeah, like that would be a good fit. And we can't say no to the stash. I'm like, okay, this is great. The stash got me in. This is really cool. All right. But then, of course, I'd filled in a good handful of times. And then, you know, we started the Nintenbyte, and it all worked out very well. Obviously, with Jake leaving, the timing on everything was just pretty much perfect. And it was good because Jake had things he needed to do in his life, and it was perfect timing for me. So everything worked out like as really, I don't want to abuse the word perfect, but as perfect as could be. And since then, man, it's just been something I look forward to every single week. It's always a great time. it never feels like a job or a chore or anything like that. I legit look forward to, because it's like, we're hanging out with friends. I don't live stream really on my channel. It's very rare. I did for Donkey Kong Bonanza. I think that was the last time. So I look forward to this, because this is a really fun time for me as well to like sound off, because I have opinions. I do, but I also don't want to put them out on the internet consistently, because I don't have time to like reply to that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have time to debate. And but this is perfect for it, and everything just works out great. I look forward to all the prediction episodes, all the guests that we've had on. Obviously I've met a lot of great people. Paul here. Of course, we had, Sumbro, Andres, back when he was a co-host with us, Roger, Mike, so many guests, Alyssa. I don't want to name them all off because I'll forget some.
It would take so long to.
Yeah, but it's just been really fun to collaborate with everyone. And I would say, like Gamebird mentioned, the best part has definitely been PAX. That was so much fun. And it wasn't weird at all. I think we've mentioned that before, but for anyone listening, if we haven't, it was really weird, because it was like you're saying what's up to your friend that you've seen every year or every day for 20 years.
But
even
never
though we've
really
never we had never met in person. It was very just normal. I didn't even think about it. I think Michaela had asked like if I thought anything was going to be like weird or awkward. I'm like, no, I ain't even thought about that. Like, I'm sitting here playing video games on the plane. I'm not thinking about that stuff. I'm just excited to like be there and hang out. But I didn't think it would be weird.
No more weird than what Wednesday nights are.
Yeah. So yeah, for me, like you said, Gamebird felt like a second Christmas. Michaela and I were just talking about PAX maybe an hour or two ago. And again, just like how, hey, I want to get my PTO put in. She was saying as soon as possible. And, she can't wait to go. I can't wait to go. It was such a great time.
Yeah.
But yeah, every week's a good memory. Everything we do, it's always fun, man. So yeah, it's hard to pinpoint a favorite because every time's a good time.
All right. Well, I guess that gets to me. A bit of a sentimental type over here. So let's stick with something that's not quite gonna get me emotional yet. Some of my favorite moments on the show. How Gamer became co-host.
Right. Wait, hold on. I literally was thinking Stash, because I've never really heard the story about Stash becoming co-host, like how he reached out. It was the first time. And I was thinking when I was sitting there, I was like, oh yeah. I took a completely different approach. Stash was like, I'm just gonna reach out and see what happens. If I don't hear back, whatever. I'm just gonna shoot my shot. Mine was a little bit more crafty. I'm like, I'm gonna make myself extremely unavailable. That way, when I flip things around in an hour, they're gonna have to grab me while they can, which is not a truth. But I certainly thought it while Stash was talking. I was like, I should alter the story a little bit, make myself sound a little bit more crafty. But
yeah. So that was one of my favorite memories, just because we have been going through co-host hell, trying to get a replacement for Andres Restart. He's always welcome on the show. He's always a friend of the channel, a friend of all of us. But it was one of those, his life, just didn't line up to be doing the show every week anymore, which is totally fine. He had done the Nintendo Prime podcast with me for like 3 years. Like, I get it. It could get to a point where one of us wants to move on as well. Stuff happens. But I don't know if that's going to happen. As people say, we're kind of like a family. We're kind of like this huge friend group. I'm not so sure we're ever get that tired of each other. We'll see. But it was funny because Gamer was here when someone else was supposed to become co-host. It was just offered the job permanently after we all said nice things about him. And then he's like, this is awkward, but I actually can't do it. It doesn't fit my schedule. So we're all like, oh, and then he just left. And Gamer was in there. It was in there because it was right after an episode where Gamer was on as a guest. He's like, so this is awkward,
dude. Because it was like a 20-minute. It was like a 20-minute monologue.
Yeah, and he didn't bother to like ever stop me and be like, "Yeah, just so you know, I actually can't do it. Gonna save me some time."
Yeah, and then I was like, should I be here right now? Like, should I be like, I gotta go, guys, or should I just stayed and watched? I think I was like snacking. Just
yeah, you were.
Everything
Yeah.
down.
Yeah, and then and then we're like, well, that sucks. And like me, Stash, and Eric are just all sitting there kind of dumbfounded for a moment, like, he applied for this. He showed up every week on time.
Mm-hmm.
He did a great job. We started having inside jokes with his setup in the background. And then he just didn't even want the gig. It's like, we're not used to people sticking around for the full trial when they already knew that they couldn't do it. It was kind of interesting. Shout out to Andrew Collette, by the way. You guys already know that he was the guy that was trying out. He's a good dude. He's reached out when my family was going through stuff last month. He's a good guy. Anyway, it's totally fine that it doesn't fit his schedule. It's the same thing with Andrew. We started just you weren't a co-host yet. You could have let us know before the end of the trial, buddy. But that's all right. Love you, man. That being said, Gamer was in there, and then we're like, well, we were discussing how frustrated I was trying to find someone, and then I'm like, Gamer, what do you think, man? Yeah, I can't, guys. Just can't do it.
There's no possible way.
I
remember there's no possible way I could do it.
No possible way I could do this every week. And I'm like, okay, that's understandable. You didn't even technically apply, so who cares? Then it was like an hour or two later, he's hitting up my DMs. This is after a show, by the way, so it's already like late because our show runs long. So I'm like sitting in bed, and I'm like, dude, why am I getting a DM, dude? We're all done. And then Gamer's like, so I talked to my wife. I'm in. What do you mean? What do you mean you're in?
You're joining that podcast, whether you like it or not.
Well, there was this like assumption that his wife would just have no way, no how ever let him do this every week because it's a long show. It's a commitment, and the wife was like, "What the fuck's wrong with you? Of course you're doing the show."
It's funny too, because like that night before bed and stuff, she's all like, "So what do you say?" I'm like, "Oh, he's gonna talk to the other guys." She's like, "Do you think you're gonna get it?" And I was like, "No." I literally did not think I would get it. I was like, I doubt it, dude. I don't know any of it. I've guessed it on Prime's podcast like twice prior over the course of like, I don't know, 2 years. So I didn't really know anyone. And then like, I didn't know Stash came from a very small channel. So I'm like, who am I? Like, I doubt it. I looked at Andrew's channel that night. He had like 1 million or 500,000 subs. I was like, yeah, no, there's no way.
Yeah, and to be clear, it was sprung on him, and I was like, well, I remember we were talking about, guys, you can't had him out a couple times. He was all right. He can't be worse than anyone else we've tried out. And we're like, let's do something that we usually don't do. Let's not do a trial and just say he's the co-host and see what happens. Sure as shit, like his first couple episodes, he was a little nervous, a little timid, and then by episode 3, it was just like he was part of the group. I remember after the first month, we were talking after the show. Gamer was just like, I don't know what is happening. I feel like I've known you guys my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, and at that moment, it's like, dude, we already know. Like we had that feeling the whole time. Like, yeah, this is the one. Apparently, we just needed to not do trials. Which I'm glad we did. If we didn't do it, we'd be stuck with a completely different co-host that would not have been the correct one for the show. So, anyways, yeah. So that's one of my favorite memories. Obviously, everyone's gonna talk about the PAX West. That's the first time we all got to get together. We did a live podcast together as well. That was really fun. But another memory that I'm always gonna have, it's literally happening right now, is Stash snacking every episode. Literally every episode. Without fail. To be fair, it's a long show. It's understandable to get hungry,
and it's over his dinner time too.
But like he just wife walking in with In-N-Out and all, just all sorts of stuff all the time. How many times have we got to talk about the Kirkland trail mix that's now infested 2 of our members? So Stash is still the only one adding the extra M&Ms. I'm sure I'll get around to getting my Kirkland trail mix as well.
Right.
We were just talking about last episode about this.
Mm-hmm.
So of course we got some. Gonna be cracking that in a little bit.
I got it in the fridge right now.
Heck yeah.
Oh,
Yep. So that's gonna be good. So yeah, that's always a big thing. And devolving into the one episode with Titanic, and then we talked about snacks for like an hour and a half for some reason. That was
The candy cast.
Yeah, the
Yep,
candy cast,
yep.
dude. So we've had a lot of really, really fun memories, and obviously really fun guests. One thing I wanted to make sure special shout out was actually at PAX East and PAX West last year. The first time I went to any show was PAX East last year, where people were recognizing us for the podcast more than my channel. And that I was never used to that. But it was always, if people recognized me way back when at early E3s, it was from Zelda Informer. And then it was really cool when they started recognizing me for Nintendo Prime. But it just been, oh, you're a Nintendo Prime, you're a Nintendo Prime. And then literally like, hey man, you're a Nintendo Prime. I'm like, yeah. From the Nintenbyte Podcast. I'm like, wait a second. That's how you know me, is the podcast, not my channel?
Yeah.
Like, what? And they're like, dude, where's Gamebird? I'm like, what do you mean, where's Gamebird? Where's Stash? I'm like, not here. That's me and Eric. And dude, there were people that walked up to Eric instead of me. They're like, dude, you're Eric from the Nintenbyte Podcast. And he's like, that's Nintendo Prime. Like, oh my God, that's right. They didn't even recognize me in person. Maybe I'm a little more rotund and round in person. So they assume that could be Nintendo Prime. That's not him. Yeah, I'm a little tubby. It'll be better this year. There's surgery coming up, but no. Yeah, so that's one of my favorite memories, just like the fan interactions. It now spans probably, God, just last year between PAX East and PAX West, meeting fans in person. God, probably over 40 different fans at this point between the two events. That's always like special because a lot of it was just fans of the podcast.
Well, and here's the thing too. This isn't possible without you guys.
Yeah.
The fans. It's not possible.
Literally.
Well, I mean, I guess it would be, but it wouldn't be pointless.
Yeah. I mean, look, guys, I do this. I know not all of us here are full-time YouTubers doing it for a living and stuff like that, but this is, without the fans, I probably wouldn't even keep the podcast going to the point of being Nintenbyte Podcast, just because I am a full-time YouTuber and I personally would not be able to get away with my wife letting me do this if it wasn't able to also help support the family. Nowadays I can. Now it doesn't matter. The money doesn't matter anymore. She doesn't care about the money on the show now. She's met everyone. She thinks everyone's badass. She understands why we want to do this. But when you're trying to justify a 5-hour live stream compared to my usual 3-hour ones and staying up till 1 a.m., well, it's hard to justify that to the wifey without being like, yeah, the podcast makes like $100 an episode. It's at least something. Yeah, you do the math, it's like $20 an hour. It's not too bad. But now it's like, no, now the money doesn't matter. It's just, you guys though made that happen, which is awesome. And you guys, every single week, like when we see Demonic Brawler bring this up, he's pretty much a regular part of the show. Every week, number one super chatter of the show every single week. Always bring back NFL Blitz, NBA Jam, NHL hits. Yeah, you guys have made yourselves part of this show in so many ways. I mean, I remember the night where the one dude went over to Stash's channel and dropped like over $1,000 in super chats and members.
That's insane. I know
what's happening right now. We've had some huge dropped on me. I remember like the first time Gamer got like a 50 bomb. I'm like, what is going on? Like,
that was wild to me. I couldn't even believe someone.
But you guys are so.
I couldn't even believe that.
And then Gamebird randomly while we're wrapping up the show, featuring funny comments from the chat just to troll us. Dude, you guys are a huge part of the show and a huge reason we do this show. We have just a little inside baseball. We've had conversations in the past about how to grow the show. Like the original reason I started tracking the stats, I think it was Thunderstash at one point, is like, hey man, like where do we rank for Nintendo? And I'm like, give me a second. We got some stats, and we found out, we're like top 6. Now we're top 5. It's like it is something like we do have this mindset. Like we want to become one of the go-to podcasts. There's a number of reasons for it too. One, we really believe in the show and the vibe it gives off. But we also believe that we provide some value to the audience, and we also think that when it comes to podcasts, we now know directly Nintendo watches our show. So if we have some criticisms or we have some stuff, they're going to hear it. That's going to get back to Nintendo. We don't know if anything's going to happen, but they're going to hear, they're going to listen, because we're critical but fair. That's what this show is. There's a lot of shows that are overly negative all the time about everything. Just look at any podcast about the Direct today. It's kind of crazy. And then what this show means to me, this is, I mean, I've said this before. It's my favorite piece of content I've ever made is this particular podcast every week, because obviously the co-hosts we have and everything, like how special it is, how guests come in nervous and leave feeling like family after one episode. Like how? I don't know how that ice gets broken. It just does every single time. Now we have a running burp joke with Rogers Base, for crying out loud. It happens. Everyone comes in not knowing what to expect, and they leave being like, damn, that was kind of fun. And it's different. And we don't shy away from swearing or sex jokes at times. And just, we're not trying to be a children's show. We are a Nintendo show for Nintendo adults, and we love it. And we wouldn't want it any other way. We have that vibe of loving the 80s and the 90s because we all kind of came from. But then also recognizing some of the modern day stuff and what the youth of today like. Part of that's because, hey, a couple of us are dads on here. We got kids. We see them. We know what we know what they like. You know, brothers, sisters, nieces, nephews. You know, Paul Gale's a dad on there. He knows what's up. He helps you stay a little bit connected with what's jiving with the youth versus what jives with us when we were younger. We've been through the growth of the industry and seen all the changes. It just really creates a nice vibe where we have an appreciation for what once was and where we are today. You know, there's a lot of podcasts out there that are doom and gloom about everything in this industry. Just everything. All the industry layoffs. Yeah, that sucks. All the microtransactions that destroy games. Yeah, that sucks. That doesn't mean that video games are in a bad place. There's so much good going on that gets
forget
ignored.
all the live service games.
Yeah, all the live service games. Another one announced today by Sony. We'll see if it works out for them. We'll see. I know people are joking around. It might be the next Marathon. I don't know. It's the Horizon IP. It might have a slightly better chance. We'll see. Very curious. I thought it looked okay, but we didn't see enough of it. So, but yeah, it's one of those things, you know, that this show, I'm going to be honest. A lot of you guys know that I've been going through a really hard time since December. And this show keeps me sane. Eric sees it in person. Mm-hmm. That I go through a lot just to even get to the start of a show. Then we hit that go live. The greatest podcast intro of all time drops and it all melts away. And it's time to hang out with buddies for the next 5 hours and just not worry about all the shit going on with my family. And it's not anyone's fault. People can't help the things that they have to go through medically. And thank you to all of you on the show right now. Thank you. Because I might be in a mental institution if it wasn't for the show. Just to be honest, it's like a therapy session for me. Just to talk about video games. And speaking of that, let's talk about a Direct. I know the two people on the bottom don't have all night to be here. So let's toss it over to Gamebird to get his thoughts on just overall thoughts on Direct and anything particular you want to get into, because I know you have the shortest amount of time that you can be here. So
yeah, I got like 15 or less minutes, so I'll be quick. I'll probably have the most I feel like I'll probably have the most divisive opinion, so you guys can totally discuss and
don't worry, we'll rip you apart when you leave.
Yeah, absolutely, and feel free. So I gave this, first and foremost, I've given this partner showcase 2 grades, 2 different grades, and the reason why is because I felt like it was the fair and right choice to do. So 1 grade I gave this partner showcase is my personal grade. What did, as a Nintendo fan, what did I think of this showcase? The second grade is, what would I grade this as, just like a casual gamer, someone who's, you know, maybe Switch was their first console, Switch 2 is their second one, or might be their second one, or they started playing games, last gen. Mm-hmm. So for general audience, I'm giving this one between a C and a C plus for general audience. I think there's one amazing thing that came locked in basically from this direct, and it's something we've all discussed on the podcast many times, but I think that this really, as the opening partner showcase for the year, really solidified it and cemented this as just fact, is that Switch 2 is going to have the best third-party support of any Nintendo console. That's honestly how I feel. They showed a lot of stuff. There was a lot of fantastic third-party support here. That being said, my personal review has been, and these grades have changed a bunch because I've been thinking about it all day. I'm like, man, what do I grade it? And it would jump up and then it would jump down, and I was stuck. And I know this is gonna sound low for a lot of people, but it was stuck between a D and a C minus, and I raised it to a D plus, but I might be a C minus. I don't really know. There were a few standouts for me. First off, I think the showcase started incredibly strong. Orbitals, I think that game looks freaking amazing. It's got the 80s sci-fi space anime vibes. It's a formula that I feel has been proven to be extremely successful. We've seen it in It Takes Two. We've seen it in Split Fiction. And I think the first game they did was A Way Out. So we know that this type of multiplayer only 2-player game can really thrive in the gameplay and art style and all that cool stuff. This game presented really well, and I'm very happy I have this drafted. I hope it works out for me. I hope this one gets some good scores. Very impressed there. Then another banger for me. And this is going to be a little bit more of an obscure title, but Paranormasight was a really cool brand new reveal. It's a second game in a series, but it's got that very like puzzly, more visual novel kind of aspect to it. The first one's fantastic. It's a game that my best friend, who's been on the show, Colin, really loved, and I think it's really cool to see that. Other highlights for me from this show are Grand Blue Fantasy Relink with the new updated content coming to Switch. This game's freaking awesome. This game has been out on other platforms for a while. This isn't a new title, but I got a really controversial statement. When I played the demo, if I'm comparing demos, when I played the demo, because I never ended up buying Grand Blue, but I bought Monster Hunter. But when I played the demo for both, and Grand Blue, for those of you don't know, there's a story mode. It plays like an RPG, but the main thing of it is doing monster hunts with your friends. And there's all these different characters you can choose from, and you level up and you earn new skills and all that cool stuff. To me, this blew the Monster Hunter Wilds demo out of the water. It was way more fun. Performance was better. Some of the Monster Hunter Wilds performance was a bit questionable. So seeing this land on Switch 2, also including an exclusive feature to the Switch 2, which is local co-op that doesn't exist on any other platform and won't exist. That is a really exciting announcement for me. Monster Hunter Stories 3, I think the game looks awesome. There's a demo out for it. I think that's really cool. And then the last one for me that I was really excited to see was Oblivion being announced at the end. But the thing is the reason why I'm grading this a little bit lower on the scale. I don't think it was bad. I think it was a decent direct. I just don't think it was great for me because, one, even though I think that was a great that they're bringing like a handful of Bethesda games, I think it's cool that they bundled it in one announcement. This really lacked that big one more thing. And I feel like ending on the big one more thing is how you got to do it. On top of that, I, as excited as I am to play a lot of these games, and I'm excited to see these ports, at the end of the day, I think it's a lot of stuff that is available elsewhere or that we already knew was coming to the platform. And that's why, I do include Oblivion because, this wasn't one that we had seen in any of the presentations before. And then lastly, kind of my last point is, other than the big one more thing and the lack of new heavy hitter announcements, they're missing quantities, I think, that would have carried some more weight than some of the stuff we saw here. But again, I don't think it's bad. I think for me, it reviews lower. Again, it's between that D+ and C-. I see it more as a C+ for the mainstream, as in, I don't know that there was anything in here that if you don't already own the Switch 2, if you weren't already sold, you're like, I've got to get it now. But again, if Switch was your first console, Switch 2's your next one, or if you're a more casual gamer and you're looking to get into the hybrid thing, I think this incredible promise of like nonstop third-party support is phenomenal. And like, other than like Orbitals, and some of the games I mentioned, I feel like the third-party commitments is the star of the show, because they really did hit us with so many. But those are my really quick thoughts. I don't have enough time to go like super deep into it and why I feel the way I do about those points, but I'd love to, with the short time I have left, hear a little bit of your guys' thoughts.
Sure. Well, let's go to Paul, because I know he's also got limited time.
Yeah, I thought it was a really good show. Gamebird touched on some of the same things that I agree with. Like, one, it didn't have a one more thing, big ending. Instead, it was a segment, which a segment is nice, but when you divvy up that segment, it's how you deliver each one. We knew that 2 of them were coming, Oblivion 4. We knew of its existence, that it was being remastered, but we didn't know it was coming to Nintendo Switch 2. So that technically was right at the verge of, hey, this is a brand new thing, but just for Nintendo Switch 2. But still really cool. It looked great.
Yeah.
I think that's another good visual showcase of, hey, guys, this is a modern video game console that's going toe-to-toe with everything else. And unless if you're really pixel counting and looking at the lighting a little bit different, like, dude, overwhelming vast majority of people out there are going to see, wow, Oblivion, I remember that title, but it's looking better than ever, and it's available everywhere, and I can take that on the go. Big selling point for high quality day and date releases on Nintendo Switch 2. So a strong ending, but not like a powerhouse ending. And the other thing it didn't have was just that one megaton game. You can't expect every partner showcase or even a direct to have, in this case, well, in a direct maybe a little bit more so, because you're dealing with Nintendo themselves. This time you're not, but you didn't have a Monster Hunter Rise situation where it's a designated third-party game exclusive for a Nintendo platform, or
right, because a lot of people want Xenoblade Warriors, something like that is like. And I think of, Paul, not to cut you off, I think about the last partner showcase we got where, we had Adventures of Elliot revealed, as well as a brand new Octopath game. Like, that's so hype to me. And I know, you guys mentioned it, people are going to complain about these no matter what. No one's going to, people are just going to be unsatisfied with every presentation. I know a lot of people ranked that last one an F or a D. For me, that was like an A-, that last one. I thought it was fantastic because there was so much new stuff. But Paul, go ahead. Sorry for jumping in.
Oh yeah, that's okay. Like, something that for me, so I gave it like an 8. I'm in between 7.5 and 8, with the understanding that 5 is mediocre, 1 is garbage, 10 is amazing, 3 being and 7 being good, right? So 7.5, 8. I'm like, oh, it was really good. It was good. Because I look at the quantity, 33 titles in 32 minutes, that was nice. I'm looking at what did I like? And I was fine with seeing Fallout 4, despite knowing it. I was very happy to see Indiana Jones, despite knowing it. Oblivion 4 was a welcome surprise. Yeah, I've seen Resident Evil Requiem a few times now, but seeing the amiibo was an exciting piece of the direct. That overall, you look at these things for more than, I look at these things for more than just the games. I look at it for the what else. That's how I've always viewed Nintendo Directs. The Nintendo Direct at E3 with the puppets from Jim Henson's company, right? With Mr. Miyamoto, Reggie Fils-Aimé, and Satoru Iwata. I look at that, and that's a part of that presentation to me. And that is a segment that builds it up. Now, we don't have a skit for this one, but we do have an amiibo reveal. We do have demos dropping that day. So I take those into consideration of like elements of entertainment for me. And I was a fan of the Resident Evil segment, like I said. I think it's looking great. Capcom is delivering big. Monster Hunter Stories 3, looking as good as ever. Pragmata, I downloaded the demo. I have yet to play it, but as soon as I'm done here, I got to do some kids' homework stuff and stuff like that. But then later on, I'm playing that tonight. Turok Origins, that was another one that I had on my list. You know, old school Nintendo 64 fan, 1996, 1997, Turok 2 Seeds of Evil, Turok 3, Turok the Rage Wars. Was that the 4-player? Rage Wars, I think. Yeah. We had 4 of them on N64 and then some over the years, but like that's a little bit of nostalgia to me. Not completely new, but new enough coming to Nintendo Switch 2, looking good. Had me pretty happy. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Knew that it was coming, but first time seeing it. And we know that it's a more ambitious game because, you know, this is a PS5 only thing until now. FF7 Remake, as impressive as it is, and especially being the integrated version, it's based off of an older tech machine capable of running it in some capacity in PS4. But not this one. This has a more ambitious, bigger, more open world and stuff like that. There are some more bells and whistles. So seeing it, having that, I knew you guys could pull it off, Square Enix. Thanks for proving me. Some people will say, oh, if you zoom in on Cloud's face there, dude, you're not going to pay attention to that in the game. And if you do, you got some other kind of problem, in my opinion, than just sitting back and enjoying the experience. But and like also, that's not a final build. And speaking of builds, we're only have to wait 4 months to play it. That's earlier than I thought. I was thinking like, oh, September, but dude, June. That's in exactly actually. Is it June 5th or something? I forgot. It's 4 months away. It's 4 months away. Pretty cool. Updates to some things. I'm just looking through my list. Elliot, Bomberman, the classics, Hollow Knight. Cool things. And there were also, like we said in the beginning of the podcast, how, you know, I'm happy seeing you guys happy at PAX West, you know. There were some titles here that just gave me a little bit of a joy because, yeah, I watched some Digimon back in the day. You know, I tuned into it. I wasn't like a super big Digimon fan, but I've seen a lot of people in my live streams and just folks online talking about how badly they want Digimon. So, you know, without specific names floating around at the moment, I'm like, oh man, they're going to be really happy for that. And that's kind of an extra little bit of cool for me, regardless if I'm picking it up or not, which I probably won't be. And the last but not least, I kind of have to go back to the beginning, Orbitals. I'm right with you there. It's got like an 80s kind of style anime look. The animation's really cool. And I think Nate also could relate with this one because we've talked about before, if I'm not mistaken, Split Fiction. Weren't you playing that one with Yulia?
Yep.
Same here. All summer long, Split Fiction was one of the mainstays in this household. My wife and I played on my file. My son and I played on his file. My daughter and him, and my wife and me on her file. Like, dude, we played through that game like 3 times. And I don't really normally play through games, but that one was so fun because you wanted to play as a different character on the other person's file. So Orbitals, anyhow, cool. And yeah, that's about it. There was, you know, a good amount of stuff. Not that 1 megaton. I think. So I'm also of the opinion that a show could be, you know, a 7.58, but if it truly has that 1 megaton, that could instantly go up to a 10. If it's something you love so much makes it a 10, it's not, well, hold on, whoa. You were giving it a 7. Doesn't that only bring it up to like a 7.3? Or you're giving it an 8. How could one game out of 34 now make it a 10? Isn't that only like an 8.4? No. What you have in here, that passion could go through the roof for any reason. Like if Bandai Namco showed up with a 3D, I know Nate's not the biggest fighting game fan, but that's okay. I think you still like this though, maybe. A 3D Zelda-based fighting game made by the Bandai Namco team to replicate the feel of Soul Calibur, but 16 character cast of Zelda characters, and they showed that off. That's the kind of third party dream that you would love to see, or a Power Stone kind of game, but with Zelda characters in that. Like, you don't get that every day. You don't get the Monster Hunter Rise exclusive every day. But we're getting orbitals, and that's pretty damn cool. And
Yeah.
you
Orbitals
know,
looks great.
and we knew about it before, but maybe it's not the same magnitude as, a third party teaming up with Nintendo to make a Star Fox as part of Starlink, or Mario and Rabbids as a part of like an Ubisoft venture. But it was still fun. And, I don't want to get too far into like speculation talk, but I think some of the stuff that we were expecting, like Expedition 33, it not being here this morning doesn't omit it from being in existence. It just means, hey, we are Nintendo. We are focusing more on third party than we ever have before. We really started building up something on Nintendo Switch. Now we have an even more capable console relative to the era of 2025, 2026 than Nintendo Switch was to like 2017, 2018. So we are capable of holding more third parties. Third parties thinking, okay, great. So your platform could support us, but in the past, a lot of third-party games get put to the side because of rabid Nintendo fans that just want their Mario and Zelda. So what does Nintendo do? We are showing you that we could step back and give you a platform by giving you access to our biggest show. There's nothing bigger than a Nintendo Direct. So we're giving you a specific spotlight. And hey, we've got so many of you third parties, we got to put some of you in our own Nintendo Direct. So it's kind of like a Nintendo being wise with their publishing partners of giving them proper space, which for them, I think is a sign of respect. Like, oh, you gave us our own spot, because this is not these developers, publishers paying Nintendo $500,000 each for an ad space on their Direct. I don't believe that is the case. This is selective, curated, but it is a good opportunity to freely advertise it. It's a scratch your back, scratch my back kind of situation. And this thing was great. I kind of went off tangent a little bit. I just had some coffee a few minutes ago. But basically, if you were looking for where's the Call of Duty? Isn't Halo coming over too? What about Expedition 33? I thought Roger said, like, dude, it's close to the team. It's definitely coming. Were they wrong? No, it just time, patience. I think you gotta spread it out. Nintendo also, I'll try to wrap it up here. Nintendo also likes to have themselves in the conversation constantly. If you threw everything once, then people are hyped, talking about it, and then there's a short tail. Wouldn't you rather go, boom, conversation piece, a couple days later, boom, conversation peak a week later, boom, conversation peak. So you're always in the news. So every several days, every couple of weeks, there's like, oh my gosh, now Nintendo was at the Super Bowl. Now they had a Pokemon Direct. Now they had another General Direct. Now they just showed off a Lego thing. Now they showed off another thing. You know how many pops, how many blips on the radar they create by doing it that way instead of just one thing, that's it. They're smart. They know what they're doing. They have gone through some rough times, and now throughout the Nintendo Switch era, they have hit a new peak, and they're finding more ways to peak. So, yeah, I kind of went off a little bit from the show itself, but yeah, that's my thoughts on the show itself and a little bit of an expanded look, in my opinion. That's my opinion.
Sorry, that's awesome. While you were talking, all of a sudden I started getting like pinged like crazy. There's a support page for a Wii remote for Switch 2.
Oh.
But more than that, Special Nick, if you guys know, friend of us as well. He'd like to come on the show more often, but he is across the globe. He not only said, yeah, that's what he's been told. He's also been told that they're going to do DS with an extra screen as well.
I freaking knew it, dude. I freaking called it.
Wait. How many times have you ridiculed me for saying this for the last over a year?
Hold on, though.
Dude.
Hold on, though.
I debated with Andres on this before, like a year and a half ago.
We're not done. So he said, DS with an extra screen, the Wii with a new Wiimote that doesn't need a sensor bar. Also, something to do with the Sega CD.
Oh my gosh,
Sick.
dude! I talked about this stuff. I'm just saying. I just want to put that out there.
Oh, and the Wii,
I've
and the
talked
Wiimote
about
has
this
a nunchuck with it as well, of course. Now he does say, I'll show you guys here.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Say
Wait, guys, I've got to take off. I've got to go. I can't stick around for this.
Yeah.
But I just want to say thank you guys again. Happy 100th episode, everybody. Again, guys, I didn't hate the direct. And listen, I didn't mention this. If you're in if you only play on Nintendo consoles, I actually think like this would get like a BB plus because there's just so many amazing games coming. So like that completely changes things if you're a Nintendo only console player. I'm coming from the perspective of a multi-console owner. But anyways, guys, great show. Enjoy the rest of the podcast. And I'll see you guys soon. Keep an eye on my channel. I've got a huge collab. And Paul, if you're in, I know you messaged me. I am working on doing the biggest collaboration I've ever done on my channel. And I think I already have 9 or 10 confirmed content creators willing to collaborate. So I'm going to keep reaching. I'm going to see how high I could go. My goal is this is a new year. It's the first full year we're going to get for Switch 2. There's a lot of expectations with the anniversaries. Let's get some really cool predictions going from some great creators and hopefully make one hell of a predictions episode. But anyways, guys, thanks so much. I'm Gamebird Classic, and I'll see you next time.
Hey, brother.
have fun.
Later, Bird. All right. So this is the actual post here, where he's quoting Arrow here. And he says, for sure you'd be right. They're just going over generally. They're doing the DS with the extra screen. Wii and new Wiimote doesn't need a sensor bar. Sega CD. Necrolipe, obviously from Necrofelipe, says, this is something probably in the cards. Sega CD I've heard of alongside a Wii project. Now, the big thing to remember here is, he doesn't sure this is coming anytime soon, right? This is just stuff they've been told that Nintendo's working on. It doesn't mean it's coming anytime. Like, don't think it's coming this year or next year. Like, this could be like years of planning for Nintendo. Because they plan this stuff out for a long time. So I'm not saying expect the Wii or the DS with the extra screen or Sega CD anytime soon. Just that they appear to be working on it. Now, one caveat about the support page, and this is something I just want to note because there was a community note that's still being voted on for it. But it says this simply is an issue with Nintendo's support website. IDs were leaked for several products, and combining them can produce support pages for any product someone wants. So it is possible that if this person used that ID, I'm not saying Arrow, but whoever initially discovered it used an ID, that they just created the support page basically manually, potentially. So even though you can go look at the support page yourself, you can use the IDs to make any support page you want. So I highly doubt the support page itself is real in that so much that Nintendo actually has a public support page for it, because why would they? That would be Nintendo leaking stuff themselves. That said, that doesn't change the fact that this led to Special Nick coming out and revealing that he's heard about a bunch of stuff. And then Necrofelipe confirmed, the Wii and the, let me see here. Necrofelipe said he's heard of the Sega CD alongside the Wii project. So again, though, guys, this isn't really the point of the show. This is probably something we could dive into deeper next week, but just wanted to bring it up since it kind of just broke literally right in the middle of the show. So I'm like, hey, we should probably just mention this. Is potentially a thing. Guys, always remember these are rumors, okay? Like any of the rumors or leaks that we discuss, unless they're confirmed by Nintendo or it's a leak from a data mine, there's no guarantee that this ever happens. But just throwing it out there. That's Stash is trying to own me with the extra screen. I'm like, you're probably going to. You're probably going to.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
But it hasn't been announced yet. So when it comes to any bet between me and Stash, I'm going to lose. I want to be very clear. The only way that I will win is if I have inside knowledge, and that's a dick move. That would be a dick move if I win because I have inside knowledge. So, and I don't think both of us are competitive enough that I don't think we would ever do that to each other. That's a little low blow there. But or if we did, we'd immediately just comp to it right away and be like, yeah, no, we can't do this bet.
I won, but yeah,
I'm not that when that happens.
I'm not that desperate to get one on Stash.
If or when the DS happens, I hope Nintendo is like, this is the latest in the DS family. It sells 7 million, and then Nintendo could be like, yep, we're at 161 million worldwide, best-selling console of all time.
Nice.
Just add it. just add it as an alternative to the DS, DSi, DS XL line,
to the family of DS.
The family. I don't think they'll do that. They probably will. Because it's obviously an accessory. I'm hoping it's an optional accessory if that does happen. Just I don't want people to have to buy like $100 screen or something to play. But
like stick the Switch.
Obviously, nothing's announced yet, and we have no idea when and if it's coming. So, Sega CD, I'm interested like with that. Like, what kind of add-on would there be for that? They're gonna let us play the OG games? Like, no way, it'd be NSO. So, like the OG discs. I'm like, what would they even release for that? Like a controller, maybe, I guess. But isn't the controller just like the Genesis, basically?
Yeah, I think it's the this. I want to think it was the 6-button layout for the Sega CD.
I thought it was the 6-button. Yeah,
but yeah, I mean they've already been selling the Sega controller for a long time through the eShop.
Yeah, so I don't know that they would need to. I mean, I guess the Sega CD has the 6-button, which is not the one they're selling. I think they're just selling they're selling the 6-button, or is it the 3-button? I don't have it.
3 in the US. I think Europe's NSO has a 6, but the US one I do have it. It's the 3.
So then they could, like in the US, launch the 6 because I think in the US they launched the 6 with Sega CD. So I believe, at least just like a little super quick Google search I did. So I guess they could technically release another Sega controller, at least here.
Oh, it's Japan. Japan has the 6 on their NSO.
Yeah. Yeah. Because everything I'm seeing when I look it up is they consider in the US the 6-button to be the CD one and the 3-button to be the OG Genesis. But in Japan, they just got the 6-button. Maybe they only ever had the 6-button there. I don't know. Interesting. Okay. Well, the point is, I guess they could release a 6-button outside of Japan if they wanted to for Sega CD. I don't know what else they would add. Like, one of the crazy things about Sega CD is just like how, like, if you guys ever see all the add-ons for Genesis and like how you can like massive stack them, it is
the Tower of Power.
The Tower of Power. Yeah. It's like, I don't know how. I mean, look, people would buy just for the novelty of it, but you don't need. There's no way you need the Tower of Power for NSO. Like, it doesn't make any sense. So it'd be hilarious. So maybe they just release like Tower of Power keychains or something.
Hey, if we get Sega CD, you know what that means? We can get that game we talked about.
Oh yeah. That'd be hilarious.
I'm sure they would not allow it.
I'm sure they're not allowing that game though. Anyways, you guys, we're not going to go revisit that. So back to this is a conversation we'd have on the next show and like what games we'd like to see for those and when we'd like to drop. For this episode though, let's get back to the direct. I guess I can just go next quick and just get my little quick thoughts out of the way. We can dive deeper after that. Look, I think this direct was like a solid B for me. It's very hard for me to have one that isn't a solid B. And this is because I'm very easy to please. It's good, isn't it, Stash?
It's good.
I know. Guys, we got the cherry zero sugar float. Brand new drink, Coca-Cola. It's good. I have the original, this is the zero sugar. I do have a full sugar version, but it's in the bottle. It's not ice cold yet. So that's why I didn't crack them. I was gonna let Eric try some, but in fact, I'm gonna stick it in the colder fridge so it actually gets ice cold. Because one of these fridges is meant to give you ice cold drinks. The other one's meant to just keep wine cold. So, anyways, so my general thoughts, I'm very easy to please when it comes to directs. I don't need a whole lot in the direct for me. If I already have a whole lot on my upcoming slate, I want to buy that I already know about. Because obviously it's a third party direct, so I'm not worried about any of the first party stuff. Although it's always nice to see. You can speculate on possibilities of third parties making stuff, but when I was already excited for Resident Evil, like that was a big one. I'm already getting that day one this month, and that was already with my limited time to game right now, enough for me this month because I'm still playing some of my games from last year. And obviously we have, Dragon Quest 7 Reimagined just dropped, and I'm still working my way through Dragon Quest 3, and then I got 1 and 2. So Reimagined's gonna get
Plenty
played.
to play.
Yeah, plenty to play. That's what I'm saying. Between my backlog and obviously some of the new games coming up that I'm not going to be, that I'm going to try to play right away. Tons to play. And then all of a sudden, Indiana Jones, which we knew was coming, I really wasn't going to double dip at all because I don't typically replay games, but it is really, really good. And I really love the story. And then this had to happen right after the direct. They should have announced this in the direct because I think people would have changed their mind on if this was a C or a B for them. If they had announced that this is the only physical version in existence of Indiana Jones is on Switch 2. I shit you not, from Machine Games, Bethesda quotes it just to have no confusion. And yes, the game is on a game card. Bethesda, no confusion. This is a full physical game.
Scroll down.
Yeah.
Look.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
It's great. And to note, technically, if you are of a certain language, I think it's Polish, you will be required to download that language. Why that language isn't on the physical version, I don't know. That is the one thing that's not there. But if you're an English speaker or anything else,
Eric's going ham over there.
dude, he loves those things. They've been here for like 2 or 3 weeks. He goes
crumbs.
Yeah.
That's the best part.
They are pretty good. They're like dill, pickle, flaming hot. They're actually pretty good.
I haven't seen that. Damn.
Yeah, pretty good. Anyways, I just have to say that like once that got announced, I'm like, oh, you know what? I might pick it up. One, because I want to tell Microsoft that, hey, if you put physical on Switch 2, people are going to buy it. I think that's their play. I think they're trying to pull a Cyberpunk here because their other games they announced are not physical. Oblivion Remastered is not, and nor is Fallout. Neither of them are physical. They're just digital, or I don't even know, Code and Box or whatever. They're digital. So and by the way, this is what Microsoft does. They don't release physical games. It's always this. I had people today try to correct me. No, they put physical on Xbox and PlayStation. No. They released a disc that you insert, and then it downloads the game off the internet. Guys, it's a key card.
It's a game key card.
Yeah. You know why you don't know that? 1, you never disconnect your home consoles from the internet. 2, you have to install all your games anyways. So 3, you're not paying attention if it's writing off the disc or downloading it. Disconnect it from the internet, put the disc in, it won't install. And this reminded me today. Well, why aren't they getting a bunch of backlash for it? Because it ain't on the box and it ain't on the disc. Nintendo got all the backlash for something that was already happening because they actually were upfront and informed consumers. Imagine other people are already doing it, but Nintendo gets all the backlash because they're actually letting consumers know instead of you don't know till you put the disc in when you get home. Nintendo didn't have to do that, apparently. They could have said nothing and wait for you to stick that card in and then get pissed at home when you got to download it. But, it's kind of, you can say it's scummy. I don't know. It's been going on for a long time. Yeah, game key disc is on just research. It's a game key disc. So it's been around. And Microsoft's been doing it with all of their games for many, many, many years. They haven't done full physical, I think in like 6 years, 7 years. It's been a while. And when they bought all these companies, of course, they got rid of the physicals and went to the way that they've been doing it with the game key, little game key discs or whatever. But for some odd reason, Indiana Jones is actually fully physical on Switch 2, the only physical copy of the game that exists on any platform. That already, to many people today, became a massive selling point for the game. There's so many people that want physical. And people are like, shit, am I going to buy a Switch 2 now just so I can have a physical copy of this game? Because the only way to get it. Like, yeah, that's pretty sick. That Nintendo's probably happy with that as well because people are even talking about buying the system just because of that. Dude, Microsoft might be putting some full physical games on Switch 2. Shit. Then that's our go-to platform for Microsoft. Yeah. If this game sells significantly more than the other 2 games they bring over, I wonder if Microsoft might start making the decision, hey, on Switch 2, maybe we should try to get everything onto an actual game card because it's going to increase sales. Like they want to make money.
The numbers are out there. I mean, look at you. Anyone can look at Nintendo's financials and look at the physical digital split. It's very clear to see that Nintendo Switch 2 owners are hungry for physical games, and then you can just take the template of Cyberpunk. Like, this isn't rocket science, is what I'm trying to say. Like, they'd be wise to do that, right?
Yeah. See
And
that.
Oh,
Let's go, Paul.
it's the same price, digital and physical, because you could say, well, what if they're hiking it up, right? They're not on the eShop. It's $70, and the physical cartridge is also $70. I think, if anything, it would be understandable I'm not saying do this, Microsoft, but at that point, if you're releasing a full game digitally, it makes sense if 170 and the cartridge is 80. I get it, especially for a smaller studio that has to eat the cost of that cartridge, But like Cyberpunk 2077, CD Projekt Red didn't do it. 70 digital, 70 physical. So, props to Microsoft for keeping the price the same.
Yeah. I agree.
That's just a little bit. So if someone's wondering, yeah, but is it going to cost more? No. So pretty cool.
It is very cool.
Yeah. So obviously that's an adjacent announcement. I wish they would have made that in the direct. I think that would have really shocked people in the direct to see a Microsoft game be full physical, especially one that's highly touted, and also I think even underrated. Even for how highly touted it is, I still think it reviewed less than it should have been. This is a top tier game. If you like Indiana Jones, there's almost nothing to dislike about this game. Even the story, like people were making fun of, like, oh, it's called The Great Circle. Play the game. Trust me, it was the right name. It was the right name for this game.
It's a good point. Not only I think should they have announced it, I agree, but a very Nintendo thing would have been Todd Howard dressed up and going like this, a Switch, classic Indiana with a plate with the weight, and take out something, boom, and put it in, open it up, cartridge. Like that would be a host. You know how many people would how you were just talking about yesterday, like when Indiana Jones was pulled back, it was that whoa announcement during that presentation.
Yeah,
that would have been that hype thing for this morning, that even though it wasn't a new game, even when it wasn't this Megaton announcement that we're talking about, like that moment would have definitely stood out. Yeah, but anyways, come on, Nintendo. Well, so Nintendo, you're watching right now, right? You see that idea? Next time.
Right. Yeah. So obviously we had that going on. Beyond that, again, wish it would have been in the direct, but still, I'm really excited to get the release dates, even though they leaked ahead of time. But like, I just scroll through this list of games, and I'm like, dude, there's so many games that I want to play. I haven't played Fallout 4 in forever. I know it's not necessarily considered the best Fallout game, but a great introduction to Nintendo owners who have never played Fallout. Obviously, Indiana Jones and Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remastered. I don't know if I'm going to pick up Oblivion Remastered. I heard it's a pretty good remaster. It's got some things here and there some people don't like, but for the most part, it's a pretty good one. But I'm kind of done with the old Oblivions and Skyrims and all that. Like I'm ready for the new one that's being made. Because these games take hundreds, thousands of hours. If I'm going to do that, I want it to be on the new one, not something that I've already done that with like many times in the past. But then I go through like Pragmata. I think it looks really, really interesting. Demo out, by the way. Definitely suggest you guys try out the demo, because I think the gameplay gimmick of having to hack the robots takes something where you need to try before you buy, to see if you really get it, see if it really jives or clicks with you. I've seen some people say they don't like it. Some people say, well, if you stick with it for a little bit, you get used to it. Like, it's just so different. It's a very different kind of thing. So that's why I'm glad there's a demo out, to see if you guys can get used to it, see if it is something you end up liking. It adds some intensity to the fights, because you got to be quick with that hacking. You got to be quicker. You're going to get destroyed. Like, I kind of like that. It reminds me a little bit of Zombie U at times. With Zombie U, on Wii U, you had to sometimes hack on the pads while zombies were coming at you on the TV, and you had to be quick about that. Just like I had to be quick in sending out a text message to get the original host on the 100th episode for the Nintenbyte Podcast here. One of the original co-hosts, Andres Restart.
Hey,
What's
What's
up?
up?
100. Had to get you on. Episode 100.
You're nice.
How's it hanging?
Pretty good, man.
It's been 100 years. Or
100
weeks. 100 weeks. 100 weeks.
Not quite 100 weeks because we had some bonus episodes like this one. But, it's pretty close to 100 weeks. Yeah, I think we have
Have you ever taken a break?
Nope, we've never missed a week. We've moved to a Tuesday before for holidays, but we've never skipped a week.
that's cool.
Pretty crazy, right?
Yeah.
Well, all of us have
2
individually.
straight years of the podcast in its current form.
Yeah. It's impressive. Yeah, 100 episodes, and we're actually number 5 in terms of the most watched podcast in the Nintendoverse out there. Number 5. You got to really get the number crunching going, but we were number 6, now we're number 5. We'll see what happens. That being said, welcome on Just Restart.
Thanks for having me.
You're only going to be here for a short period. I was hoping to get you on just for a little bit. 100 episode. You got to talk about what the podcast means to you. You're not a co-host anymore. That being said, there's a direct today. What are your thoughts on the direct?
It was okay.
That's it. That's all you got.
I can expand on if you would like.
That
me
would
to.
be great.
Yeah. It was a partner showcase. Yeah, no, like so the thing is there are games there that I'm going to buy. But there wasn't any surprises that I was like, "Oh, I'm going to buy this for sure on my Switch too." Like Orbitals we've kind of already knew about, and it does look pretty cool, but it's not like, oh my god, I need to buy this cool. It's like, that's kind of neat. Seems like a fun co-op game. I might give it a try, right? The third-party games we kind of knew about, like we knew about Pragmata already. We knew about Resident Evil Requiem already. We knew about, I guess technically, Indiana Jones we knew about. Fallout, I think, was a new announcement. If I'm not, it was leaked.
No. Yeah, we knew about it last year. It was announced last year.
Okay, so it was officially announced. And so the only new announcement was Oblivion Remastered from Bethesda then, which I did have like a wow moment, but then I saw the footage and I was like, oh, okay. Like, it didn't look good to me. It looked like, look really, you can see all the aliasing everywhere. Like, it looked very, you know what I mean? Like, you see like all the little jaggies, like it looked rough. Personally,
Which is crazy because when they showed Indy, it didn't look that way.
No, Indiana Jones looks great. If there's of the games that from Bethesda they showed off, I'm most inclined to pick up Indiana Jones, not just because it looks good, but as we were talking about earlier, it is a physical card. So that is that's something that's a nice little positive. Now I did kind of know that the Rebirth was going to be in the partner showcase, but I was still impressed with the super fast turnaround. It coming out June 6th or something like that.
June 3rd, I think.
June 3rd, like the very beginning of June. 7 Remake just came out for Switch 2, and it's great, right? I love it on Switch 2. So I'm inclined to actually pick up this version. However, I will say this: when they first showed off the footage, I was like, oh, that looks really soft and fuzzy. I don't like that. That's giving me like PTSD from the Switch era days. However, this was interesting. If you go and watch the Rebirth trailer on YouTube, it looks a lot better.
That's actually true of almost all the trailers in the show. Everything looked slightly blurry. I kind of figured it was just the live stream format. We've seen this in the past with directs. Then you go watch the actual full upload trailer, and it always looks better.
I think compression definitely had its toll, but I think it was more than that, to be honest with you. Like, I felt like I was looking at a different build.
It's possible. Yeah.
Some people are speculating that the trailer on YouTube is not actually the Switch 2 version. But I mean, we've seen 7 Remake on Switch 2 look and run great. So, I would think that it would be along the lines of that. So I'm not actually.
Notable. It's in polishing right now too. Like they publicly said they're polishing the game. Literally
Absolutely. I mean, that's the case for all these third-party games, right? All of them. I haven't played the Pragmata demo yet, but I will say that Pragmata demo, I mean, just from the trailer, I thought it looked pretty good. It might just because of the art style. I had less concerns about that one compared to the other bigger third-party games that were shown off. But I'm gonna play a demo and then I will judge it. I was actually very disappointed with the Requiem trailer. One, because it was really awkward censorship. Like that could have been whoever edited that trailer did a bad job. Personally, like
I know they were Leon miss every shot.
That was dumb. It was dumb.
No, Leon, be a badass and be ultra strong and miss everything.
And the other thing is, like, with the sniping shot, the zombie's so far away that I don't even think that would have been that gruesome. Maybe you do like cut away right before you crush a zombie skull with your foot. I understand that, and I actually thought that cut was fine. By the way, I think cutting away before the blood splattering is fine. But if you're going to show him shooting and just badly missing, like it's just not a good way to sell the game, right? Like, obviously, I think it's not going to really hurt the game because the game's already sold itself. But it was a stupid trailer.
It was weird.
Yeah.
It was just weird. Like, yeah. I don't know. I get they wanted to show off Leon. Well, my takeaway from the trailer was, okay, yeah, this is obviously a bad edit just because they're trying to censor things. I don't really care because the game won't be censored. But
no, I wasn't in love with how it looked on Switch 2 either. From there, I felt like the preview footage looked better. But
it's ironic because I thought the hair that was the thing being criticized before, I thought looked better here than it did last time they showed it. But it's so hard to tell. Like, I don't know.
Can't wait for Switch 2 Pro. Improved hair.
It just doesn't look good when it's live streamed for the direct. Like, every time we watch it, I've always done this, even before I was doing YouTube. When I'd watch a direct live, then I would actually go to whatever the developer's YouTube channel is and watch their upload and actually watch it in like 4K 60 or 1440 60. And it would look considerably better. And it would seem like sometimes during the live stream, the footage is running at a different frame rate than what it should be. And like the main video wasn't rendered properly for the live stream, which you guys know that happens. There's channels that do this on a regular basis and they'll present a game very poorly. And people literally won't buy a game because it looks like crap. And it's like, it's because you didn't render it correctly.
Yeah, and the thing with this game,
capture it correctly.
We had a lot of people obviously at a preview event with this game, and most people that I watched on the preview event forget what I saw on the screen when they would talk about how the game looked. They thought the game actually looked quite impressive in person when they were playing it, well, regardless of how well they could capture it. So it's one of those things that obviously we'll see when reviews come. The reviews obviously let us know for sure. Not just that, you're at a preview event. No, here's the final build. Does it actually hold up pretty well? And I think it's one of those things too of wondering if, and this is going to sound weird, guys, because I'm so happy it's 60 FPS. Do they offer a higher res version at 30 as an option when you play? And they're just not presenting that now because they want to let everyone know you can play.
Maybe so.
Yeah.
I do see a few who are asking me in the chat, what's my hoodie? I've actually had this hoodie for a while, but because I've been back in Miami, I've had no reason to really use it. But we've had a cold front lately, so I pulled out one of my old hoodies. This is a Dragon Ball Super hoodie. So
hell yeah.
This is Goku Black, Super Saiyan Rose. This is real Goku, Super Saiyan Blue. But yeah. For those a few people are asking, who is asking me?
Are you excited for Super coming back?
Hell yeah! Oh man,
it's so good.
I'm actually excited that they're gonna like remaster, remake a lot of the series and lead up to the new arcs. Because I do think that Super needs a reworking. So I'm actually pretty pumped to rewatch the series with new edited content, cutting out the fluff. It's like like a director's cut. So I'm pretty hyped for that.
Yeah, that's an interesting take. But beyond that, the Morrow arc and stuff like that, I've always tried to avoid what's happening in the manga, but I've read little bits and I'm like, okay, I'll wait. I'll just wait.
Man, I won't say anything. Yeah. There's been things that I've wanted to tell people because I do know what happens. I haven't read everything, but I know like the big stuff, and I'm like, oh man. There's this one thing that happens in the later arcs, and I'm like, I just have to shut up.
Oh wow.
So I'm not gonna say anything, but yeah, I'm excited, very, 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 very excited. It's been a long time coming. Anyway, it's not all related to the conversation, but
happens.
Welcome
Yeah.
to the Dragon Ball podcast.
I mean, Dragon Balls. There's a lot of Dragon Ball games, But I did like the partner showcase a little. Like it was fine. Like I'm excited for Adventures of Elliot. I'm excited for Pragmata. I'm excited for Resident Evil Requiem. I'm just not sure I'm getting it on Switch too. We'll see when reviews come out, because I agree. Like I'm not looking at these builds and saying, yeah, this is exactly how it's gonna look when it comes out. But what I think is a problem is that this partner showcase doesn't do a great job of selling these games to people who have other platforms to play them on.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, yeah, we'll see. I know the Pragmata, there's been a couple comparison videos out there of the footage versus like the PS5 version. It actually looks pretty comparable. It might be an art direction thing that's making it actually look pretty solid. But, people aren't probably going to go grab a Switch 2 for Pragmata, but they would if like Indiana Jones looks good and the Oblivion remaster look good and all the third-party games are looking good. And
Turok Origins look pretty good.
Turok Origins look really good, and that's on other platforms.
I feel like in handheld mode it look really good, because the thing is, I'm watching the direct in 4K, right? On my big monitor here, like right in my face. You know, if I'm playing it even on my TV, which is several feet away, or if I'm playing it in handheld mode on a smaller screen, the blemishes aren't going to be as obvious. So I think that's something that should be considered. Yeah, and that's why I want to wait for like some of the reviews on some of these games, because even when I look at it, I'm like, okay, yeah, some of them might look a little rougher on even like Oblivion Remaster, all looks a little rough. Okay, but when it's on the smaller screen, and it's only 1080p and there's some DLSS involved, and I'm hoping, I don't know. I mean, the game had a few rough edges around when it came out. But when they show the king up close, I was like, "Oh my god, what the hell is this?" Yeah, like it was horrific. Yeah, that game, as impressive as it was when it came out, there were some versions of it that were a little rougher on the edges. I'm like, okay, I don't know if it's the original studio. I don't whoever's porting it, and sometimes it just comes down to the port studio, whoever's actually doing the job, because very clearly, no one's complained about the indie footage. That stuff just looks wow. Yeah. Well, I mean, Bethesda games in general are not known for their polish, Well, they're known for their sheer amount of... Well, Indiana Jones is the exception, right? And that's made by Machine Games, which is, a different studio that Bethesda publishes from. So, yeah. So just to keep that kind of in mind, it's not using like the engine that a lot of Bethesda games use, and, kind of interesting. Was there any other standout games for you besides obviously those really big AAA ones? I mentioned Orbitals. Yeah, mentioned Orbitals. Adventures of Elliot is maybe probably Any thoughts on Monster Hunter Stories 3? I played Stories 2. I didn't finish it, so although there's a demo for Stories 3, and Stories 3 does look a little bit more ambitious. So I might get around to trying out the demo, and maybe that'll sway my opinion a little bit. But it's not mainline Monster Hunter, So that's what we're waiting on. Yeah, I wonder if they're kind of waiting to get Stories 3 out first before they're like, okay, let's announce Wilds.
I think so.
When is it coming out? Did they give a release? I think they did. I just didn't pay attention.
It's March 13th or 19th. I'm getting it early for review.
Might be good timing for a late March Nintendo Direct.
13th, yeah.
Well, let's actually get to that before you and Paul have to leave. Like, your guys' thoughts on like, do you guys think this Direct was just kind of like that little appetizer before the big show?
I hope it is.
Because to me, I said this right after the show. I was like, that was all right. That was solid. It's, I'm pleased with it. I can give this a B for what it is, because it's a third party showcase. It's about pretty much what they always are. But I'm like, looking at the landscape, I'm like, okay, this to me tells me that some of the other games that we know are coming weren't in here. Those could be being saved for some of those, not all of them, of course. Not all the big games are getting announced at once. We talked about this when we made our draft bingo. Like, we're not getting all these with all the leaks out there, guys. That doesn't mean all those games are even coming now.
They can be announced in summer. They can be announced in September, assuming they're even coming this year. Like, you can make. There's 2 games though that were not there that I think are perhaps telling for this secret direct we keep hearing about. Right. One is Elden Ring, because that game was supposed to come out last year. You would think a few months of extra polish would have been all they needed to announce a new release date for the first half of this year. With it not being in the direct, it means one of 2 things to me. One, it's taken them even longer to get it ready. Or 2, they're saving it for this supposed secret direct that will happen in the not so distant future. The other game that is a mysterious omission to me is also from another From Software game, the Duskbloods. You see, if there was not, because, and I try to remind people of this every time I talk about this secret direct that we keep hoping is going to happen, that's rumored. If you look at the history of things, whenever there's been a partner showcase, that has been in place of a general. It is meant we're not getting a general until the next period of time when it would make sense to. So when we speculate about a secret direct, I just want to remind people of that history. But this is a Switch 2 era. There's directs all the time. Patterns can be thrown out the window potentially, right?
Yeah.
But when I was first thinking about this partner showcase and it potentially meaning we would have to wait until maybe summer before we get the next real direct, it made sense for the Duskbloods to be in there because it's this big third-party game, this big exclusive. It could be like the headliner. But because it wasn't there, it definitely has me thinking, okay, they didn't really have any like big exclusives to really sell the console during this presentation. This didn't feel like a huge partner showcase. This is mostly games that have already been out on other platforms or are about to come out. Like there was Orbitals, and there might have been like one other like exclusive that's kind of small. Maybe it's not that small and I'm just not thinking of it, but it didn't really feel like something that would truly satisfy what needs to get out there until summer. It felt like a little something, an appetizer. That's how it felt. Not saying that's what it is, but that is how it felt.
Okay. Paul, any thoughts on like if you feel like this is like an appetizer for a bigger one for the end of March?
Yeah, I think my window is longer. And I know people don't want to hear a long window because it's like, that's too long. But, between February 11th and April 30th, I think we're getting another direct. I don't think we're going to get one in May because at that point, I'm just saying, dude, wait till June. But I've looked up a lot of data over the years, and there's 100% track record that there's a Nintendo Direct in the first third of the year from January 1st through April 30th. There are ones that drop in April and March, and now you could refute that and say, no, well, this was the one we're getting. We're not getting another one till June. But I don't think so because, like you said, call it an appetizer, call it a segmented piece. I think Nintendo has a lot going on, and maybe there are some heavy hitters of their own and some other heavy hitters that they have to give proper time to in a general Nintendo Direct, and it would be too much to have this one in that one. It's like the thing that I was saying earlier, drop things constantly every week, every couple of weeks. So there's always conversation going around the internet of Nintendo. So even though I'm thinking, yeah, it could go between now and April 30th, I'm on the more positive side of within the next few weeks. I think by late February to mid-March, we do get one. Don't forget, like Nintendo, they surprised us sort of last year. Yeah, we had that 76-day countdown leading up to the Nintendo Switch 2 Nintendo Direct. I remember. I who's counting? I did. And we knew about that 76 days in advance. But then, like last minute, here's a Nintendo Direct that dropped late March, right before by a week. So they're not against doing two mainline directs away from one another. This is a Nintendo. They could do whatever they want. You know what I mean? We're thinking like, oh, we got to follow their script. We don't know their script because they're changing the script constantly.
Yeah.
So does that mean expect one next week? Not necessarily, but I can't omit it because they've done it before. So I'll just go out on the positive note and say within the next 5 weeks. But I'm like super confident by April 30th just because they use this window to show a lot of. In the past, they have used the first 4 months to show several. So I think that's likely, but to ease the internet's mind, to ease my mind, to make us more happy, I'll say, yeah, dude, within the next 4 or 5 weeks, let's go. I think it's
March 30th, right? By March 30th.
He said it by the end of April.
I think by April 30th, it's like I'm as close to 100% with that without knowing it because I actually don't know it. It's not secret info.
Per the rumor, I would say by the end of March, but that's the rumor.
I think before the Mario movie.
Mario Monolith Soft.
Yeah,
right, guys. Before the movie.
Yeah.
Before the movie makes sense, especially if the big game's 3D Mario.
Yeah.
Having that announced right before the movie would be big.
Yeah,
I also throw out there that Nintendo has nothing dated past April.
Yeah.
And I will tell you why
think
I do like
Fire Emblem and Splatoon Raiders probably should be summer games.
I also
Did you
do
see
like
that though in the financials? Splatoon Raiders is
TBD.
TBA.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
TBA.
Yeah,
I like
they never confirmed it was this year. It's gonna be weird though if it's not, because then why are you teasing this game like 2 years ahead of time? Weird.
Splatoon Raiders has a longer turnaround than what 3D Mario and
Yeah,
Zelda.
it doesn't make any sense. Like it's gotta be
far beyond.
Yeah. Paul, what were you gonna say? Because I cut you off.
No, it's okay. I also like February, March more than April, not just because it's sooner, but because, like you said, Super Mario Galaxy movie. I think Yoshi's going to play a big role. We've seen Yoshi in the Nintendo Today app. We've seen him interact in the trailers with Toad, comedic bits. He's one of the pieces of deodorant and stuff like that. Yoshi's always been a lovable character. I think you use this Nintendo Direct before the movie to be like, hey, Yoshi in the Mysterious Book, you see him in the movie, catch him in your home this May, boom, or something like that.
Yeah.
I have a funny thought. I don't think it's going to happen, but it would be interesting. They're not going to do it, but Yoshi and the Mysterious Book launching on April 2nd. Or sorry. Yeah, there you go. Nate's got the stash.
I don't have everything yet. I'm working on it, but yeah. The body sprays are like the big thing. I can't find those anywhere.
Dang it.
So I'm hoping they
They're
maybe
not
just haven't
marketing
released
it.
Not
Yeah, I
yet.
don't
There's no
I hope they-
promotional material yet.
I hope they didn't cancel it, but
I know.
April 2nd would be a date. It would be a shock if Yoshi and the Mysterious Book came out then. I don't think so, just because, yeah, it's right next to the Mario movie, but then you're also competing with yourself for how much money people could spend. You want people to go to the theater and not think, oh, I want to see the movie, but, do the next day the game comes out. So I think the game is like, a May or June kind of thing, but I'm just saying it would be kind of neat to have it on the 2nd.
Mario movie 2023 came out April 5th. What Nintendo games came out in April last year in 2023? Nintendo
Splatoon, or not Splatoon, Pikmin 4, Breath of the Tears of the Kingdom.
Tears of the Kingdom was a May release, right? So this was pre Tears of the, it was before Tears of the Kingdom. I remember Primary Mastered and Kirby came out February. Future Redeemed came out between those and Tears of the Kingdom. And then there was also Advance Wars. Advance Wars I even forget what it was called.
it was like 1 and 2 Reboot Camp.
Reboot Camp, yeah, 1 and 2 plus 2 Reboot Camp. That launched April 21st, and I literally just looked at the movie and forgot it was like
that one was a moving target
April
though for
5th.
like 2 years because of the war in Ukraine. They
Yes.
delayed it so many times.
You also have Mario Day. So you could argue, well, Mario Day is a good place to put that Yoshi and the Mysterious Book.
Yeah, that's on the Tuesday, isn't it?
Yeah, I think
I
so.
think.
So
That also could be
future
a direct if you're going to reveal 3D
It
Mario.
could be a direct. Yeah, see how many possibilities there are, which is why we're like, this makes sense, but that one's logical too. Which one do you pick?
By the way, Future Redeemed came out 4 days after Advance Wars 1 to Reboot Camp. Like they squeeze both these releases in the second half of April. So I'm just pointing this out because I do feel like there's merit to the idea of that Nintendo probably wouldn't want to put a game release literally the same week as the movie. Also, Tomodachi Life comes out April 16th this year, so it's 2 weeks after the movie. So we may not be looking at any April releases unless we're talking about late April for games. So if Yoshi comes out, it would be late April or May. May just feels like a good month for me personally.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, we don't know what they're planning, right? That's the thing, though. That's why we need the Direct. Because, like, we don't know anything after March. Not for Switch 2 anyways. Obviously, we know Tomodachi Life, but we don't know anything for Switch 2 after March. So it's like we really need to get there. And I do think this is also one thing, and I had this reaction during the third-party Direct, and I saw other people in the chat did too. You know, when they're like, "Oh, these are games for Switch, and then these are games for Switch 2, and these are games for Switch and Switch 2." And a lot of Switch 2 owners are sitting there like, "Can we just just focus on Switch 2 for a little while here? Like, we get it. Switch has a huge audience, but like, we're the ones starving for games, not them."
Oh, I want to ask you about something. When you were looking at the explanatory material for Nintendo's financials, did you guys notice that the annual playing users went down by 1 million?
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I assume that's just because of the transition, but that's the first time it's gone down like ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I assume it's transition. I wonder if that is we don't know if it means anything. You can go right back up on the next financial report. Who knows? Or it could just stay there for a bit, and then as Switch 2's audience grows, maybe it goes back up. We don't know. But I wondered, like, because there has been backlash, and I wonder if like that was a sign of the backlash where maybe they lost 1 million people being like, "I'm done with Nintendo," and that's the extent of because it was a very loud audience online, and you wonder, hey, if that audience were Switch 1 owners, did they say, "Fuck it, we're not giving Nintendo money, we're canceling our subscriptions"? And I will say, if that's all it was,
less than 1%.
That's not that big of a deal then.
Less than 1%.
Yeah, Nintendo. Well, we all know vocal minority is very loud. That's not that bad. Nintendo is not going to care about that. That's basically what I'm trying to say.
I also think it's transition year. Like who was playing Switch? I mean, I was barely touching playing my Switch 1 in the first half of the year. Like,
and they have nothing announced right now that's like multiplayer wise a big deal coming to Switch 1 anytime soon. So I think it's one of those things that when we get a big multiplayer game that isn't Mario Kart on Switch 2, we could also see like a new Splatoon game eventually, a new Smash. We can see that number go right back up. So it's one of those like, Virtual Boy isn't going to drive. As novelty and as nice as it is to see it, I don't think it'll be driving a lot of subs. I think that's just the way it is.
It's possible Nintendo has peaked.
Question for you though. Did you see the stuff from Special Nick a moment ago? Like an hour ago?
No, I need a video for tomorrow.
Oh, well, good. This is going to be in my video tomorrow. And he DM'd me.
I don't know. What is it?
He just gave me extra information as well. So
is it about the general?
No, no, this is about NSO.
Is it the Wii thing?
Wii is coming. DS is coming. Sega CD is coming as well. And he just told me
that's public stuff on his Twitter account.
That is public. And then
I see the leak.
Yeah, I saw the leak, but then you want to be able to see there's a community note on it that actually the IDs have been out here for a while. You could take the ID, plug it in, and then you can make any support page you want. And it can be public and anyone can look at it. So I don't know if the support page means much, but the support page led to him revealing this information publicly about the Wii DS. And there'll be a Wiimote and nunchuck that doesn't need a sensor bar. There'll be a screen accessory for the DS, and then he doesn't know what for the Sega CD. But he just told me that there's supposed to be at least one new console added before June.
Before June. Supports the general direct theory.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's why I'm bringing it up. There has to be a general direct then before June. if you're launching a
And-
new NSO system in June.
The thing is, today I literally just put out the Hopium direct video. I don't think I can do another tomorrow.
No, but it is an NSO. For your channel, obviously, I'm a news channel, so it's news for me. But
Yeah.
if you can find any way, I don't know.
I mean,
And
there
what
are
would-
things. There's a Splatoon trademark thing that and
Yeah.
I don't
So he said maybe he said at the latest July, but I was told before June or in June it would launch or by June. So it's like, okay, well, yeah, they have to have a direct then to announce that because if it's one of those three systems, and then it's like, which one of those systems would it be?
I'll ask you a question. You said by June or before June because that's a big difference.
Yeah, he said it's supposed to be added before June, but then he says it is possible that it's by June or July. Nintendo shifts things around, but he was told specifically before June. He was told this a while ago, though. So that's why he's opening up to be like, well, I was told this like last year, basically. So it's like, maybe it's, Nintendo can shift things around because he wasn't like just told it just today kind of thing. Well, the point is that there's supposed to be a new system added between now and sometime in the summer besides Virtual Boy. So, but the thing is, I don't want to get too hyped, guys. If it's Sega CD, which is really cool, people won't be as excited if it was Wii or DS. That's the thing. A Wii or DS would make Nintendo fans pretty hyped.
Well, the DS thing, people have been talking about this second screen thing for the longest.
Yeah, because there's been patents for one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of people like to say patents don't mean anything, but that's not true.
A lot of patents don't mean anything. It just means they tried something and they're not. But some do mean something, and you just never know which ones are going to be.
It means that they played around with the idea. That's what it means.
Yeah, that's what it literally means. Yeah. So then there's a prototype probably somewhere. But did it become a final product? I don't know. At least Nintendo learned the lessons. Don't reveal anything until you know what's coming out, like the Wii Vitality sensor. Never gonna let that one go, man. You're on stage at E3, you review this workout device, and then just never actually release it.
Listen. They're still working on it.
They're still working on it. Yeah, it's gonna come with the next workout game. Because there's gonna be one.
They're actually saving it for Eternal Darkness 2.
Yes.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Track your
Honestly,
your heart.
that would be fire.
That would be cool.
Dude, it increases the difficulty as your heart rate goes up.
Yeah.
That would be insane.
Might get in trouble for that.
Yeah, you got to sit there and be like, okay, we got to, guys, the game's too hard. Just calm yourself down. Breathe in and breathe out. The game gets easier. Oh, that'd be hilarious. Anyways, yeah. So the direct, obviously, I just want to bring that up because I didn't think Andres knew that. I figured you were fishing for something tomorrow. I mean, you can do something with that. We'll see.
Well, I did not see the special Nick thing. No.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That literally happened during the podcast.
that's a bigger deal because I was saying that the Wii thing doesn't I don't quite understand it, but I guess people can just create their own custom.
Yeah. Well,
like,
so what it
queries.
is, yeah. What it is the IDs for all of Nintendo's products leaked a long time ago for like the individual like Wiimotes and all this stuff. And so you can go to like the Switch 2 support page and then you put that ID, just manually insert it, and then it'll say Wiimote. And you can make it say like GameCube controller before the GameCube controller was revealed. That doesn't mean like the support page doesn't exist. It's just the way Nintendo's support page works.
Okay.
It just grabs that ID and throws the name in.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So it's tomfoolery.
Yeah. But it led to Special Nick being like, well, now that this is like out there, just so you're aware, I've actually been told about blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So, and he was recently right on some pretty big stuff, as we know.
I mean, I take it that by June thing is it is this is a live stream, so it's public info.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he told me that. Yeah, go for it and say it because he knew I was
Okay.
fishing for more for the video.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
whether or not he'll give me more, I don't know.
Cool.
I'm in the middle of a show. I'm not going to keep chit chatting with him. But yeah, cool. So that's awesome. We'll see what happens. I mean, that to me is kind of a hey. Okay, another sign that another direct must be coming, unless the shadow drop.
I want your opinion. I want your guys' opinion on this. So let's say we get Fortune's Weave, Splatoon Raiders in the summer, right? Yoshi comes out spring, as Nintendo's already told us. And then Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Enhanced, whatever that means. And 3D Mario and Gen 10 are the fall games. And Dustbloods fits somewhere in there. Are you saying that's it? I feel like 3D Mario would be. I mean, the thing is, they could both come out in October, right? Like it doesn't have to be one game per month. But you know, if that's kind of like the big stuff for this year, are you content? Is that like, all right, that's good. That's good enough.
Yes.
I had that 3D Mario.
Yeah.
But put it
happy.
this way. 3D Mario. Look, if we have 3D Mario, what we do know, we have Dustbloods and Fire Emblem. I'm already super hyped for those two.
Big.
Yeah.
And then you throw in 3D Mario. Then you throw in, hopefully, Pokemon looks okay.
According to Nathan Hayden, he's heard it's visually pleasing.
I know but it's so hard. I know he said it's not like, you know, Nintendo quality. It's what we what did he say? What we expected the leap to be on Switch, but it really wasn't. So it's still going to look a gem behind, but that'll still look significantly better than what we've been getting. Whatever the hell that means.
Did you hear they're doing a Super Bowl commercial? Pokemon, like, I'm very curious on what that's probably just going to be some 30th anniversary nonsense. What if it is like a subtle teaser
somewhere?
Yeah, to me,
Don't
that's
forget.
But
what are we forgetting?
Don't forget Mario Kart. You know we're getting DLC this year.
DLC.
It's about time.
Yeah. So if you think we're probably getting DLC for that, then you obviously have Fire Emblem Dustbloods, Pokemon Gen 10, which I'm always nervous about, but it is going to be a really big game. 3D Mario, if that is Nintendo's big first party seller this year. Then you throw in Mario Tennis that we're getting next. You know what? That's actually a really solid year.
And what's crazy is that then leaves next year for 2D Metroid, Luigi's Mansion 4, because both studios are Smash Bros. Something, the Zelda remake we've been theorizing on.
Animal Crossing has to come at some point. Might not be next year, but still. Like, there's so many big stuff that it hasn't even a new Monolith Soft game, a new one, not a remaster.
Right, like if we get the definitive edition this year, like that would be like a tide over for next year, right? So and
I'm not saying all these games are coming next year, right? But like also when we get to 2027, if it hasn't been revealed yet, and I kind of feel like it's 2028, 2029, there is the possibility of Zelda getting shown off in 2027. Even if it doesn't come out that year, because they do tease Zelda years ahead of time. So like honestly, if that is the lineup for this year, that is not bad. One, it's better than last year. Two, we would call that a good year if it was Switch. That would be called a good year.
I think what it is that we haven't gone like the 2017 density.
We're not going to.
But you know, I almost feel like 2017 was good. 2018 kind of sucked until Smash came out.
Yeah.
Right? Like
it was every other year was really good for Switch. How about let's just be consistently smooth every year?
I would actually say that 2021, 2022, 2023 were all good years.
Yeah.
It was very well balanced.
Because it was like 2018, I thought was kind of weak until obviously Smash. And then
Let's Go Pikachu was good too, but
2020,
that was all end of the year.
2020 was obviously COVID, but we had Animal Crossing, and then it was like nothing until
we got
to the fall.
We had a definitive edition of Xenoblade Chronicles.
Yeah, so it was kind of like
Origami King.
That was kind of a weaker year. And so if instead we just get, hey, every year has a couple bangers and some other really solid B tier, C tier games, I'd rather have that consistency every single year if we can get that.
Yeah, so I mean, exactly.
And third parties are now a bigger deal as well. We're getting more AAA third party games now too to help fill in the gaps. So
yeah, so my point is like if Nintendo can basically pull off 2021 through 2023 every year, that's better than what Switch was. Yeah.
Agree for consistency reasons. Absolutely agree. But I think right now, guys, obviously the big issue that a lot of Nintendo fans have, Switch 2 owners or people who are waiting for Switch 2, they're just waiting for the showcase game. Like one game from Nintendo that wows them. That could be 3D Mario. That could be all we need. I don't think it'll be Gen 10. Gen 10 might wow Pokemon fans potentially.
Could be Pyra in 4K.
We have seen leaked screenshots, of course, guys. We obviously have seen leaks. The leaks themselves from the Terra leak for Gen 10 already did look better than what they've done with Pokemon so far. But that's in development stuff. You never know what the actual final product looks like. So, anyways, you got head on, Paul?
Yeah, I was going to say, by the way, sorry to interrupt or cut you off, but yeah, it's been a great podcast. Thank you for having me on.
You're good, man.
Enjoy the next 3 hours, guys.
No. This isn't going to be that late of one. We're going to wrap up in the next 50 minutes. No longer than that.
No, I was kidding. No.
Yeah, no.
It's been a lot of
Normally
fun.
it is long, but no, these bonus episodes only go long. Usually when it's a general direct, and we have some huge Nintendo games to talk about. So.
Yeah.
I miss those.
Yeah. Well, I know what's going to happen. Whenever Zelda gets revealed, I'm going to have you and like 7 other content creators pinging me. Dude, I want on your show tonight. I want to talk Zelda for 5 hours. I'm like, Jesus Christ, what are we going to do? A 12-person panel?
Yep.
I mean, just for that, I'm not going to come on.
Just for that.
Yeah. No, I'll come on if I have time and you ask.
Yeah. That's the thing about they're always bonus shows. We just don't know what's going to be revealed, right? That's the thing. You don't know till the day of.
I mean, thing is, I'm going to be busy with the analysis.
Yeah, I know. And like 3D Mario reveal. Yeah, I'd love to have you on for that one, but also you might be too busy making an analysis video to even
look at the nose. I cannot count the triangles. It is too large a number.
Look, they zoomed in on the nose and you can actually see pores. Did you know that Mario has pores on his face?
And each pore is the shape of a mushroom.
Yeah.
And if you look close enough by his ear, there's one that looks like Charles Martinet.
And if you look at
Paul.
his back, there's a peach protector.
Did you all, I mentioned it yesterday before I leave real quick. Did you all check out the Nintendo Today app and see Charles's bit?
Yeah, I did. I saw that.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like a little interview series they do, and just some fun questions. There's some fun. And he does some different voices of characters, of course, because that's what he does.
Yeah. All right. Thanks again, guys.
Good night, Paul. Thanks,
Have a
man.
good one. See you soon next
Paul.
time. Take care.
All right.
Bye, bud.
Bye.
Okay. And then there were 4. The original crew from episode 1 of the Nintenbyte Podcast. Oh, what is that?
That's
Oh,
correct.
okay. Season Xenoblade 2. Okay. I mean, to be fair, hold on. Everyone's Nintendo Today app sometimes gets different art. So let's
I
see
know.
what's for
I
mine.
know. This is like the most, like,
Like Nintendo being self-aware a little bit.
I don't know if it is, because the thing is, there's a whole bunch of stuff for a lot of different Nintendo franchises.
Oh.
It's a little curious that it's Rex Hall.
today. The Nook Tales comic today.
I don't think I've seen that.
Yeah, that's in mine today. The Nook Tales comic. That's the thing. It's
Oh, yeah,
kind
I
of
see
weird.
that.
that,
I see that.
like everyone gets like little different things. I don't understand why it's always different, but
I also
don't
hate
have-
how
I
you
don't-
can't
I
go
don't
back
have
and
the
check
Xenoblade
everything
art.
either. They wipe a lot of stuff.
yeah, I don't have the Xenoblade art
I
in
got a-
mine.
Small, tiny Mario Galaxy movie trailer.
You got a Mario Galaxy movie
Yeah.
trailer? Okay.
I also hate that I can't screen capture this stuff. It's just like, no,
I have a
it doesn't
Banana
even-
Racket trailer.
Actually,
Right.
it did let me screen capture. Can I share that on Twitter?
You can. Yes. Yeah, they finally took all that crap off. You can now share.
Oh, now that no one cares about using Nintendo Today.
Well, that's because people got mad because they were trying to share like new direct dates and you couldn't even do it. You couldn't even screenshot. And then Nintendo's like, you know what? That was stupid. We should have never blocked that.
Well,
Yeah. I mean, it was always stupid. They should have never blocked screenshots of your app. It's advertising your shit. That's all people are doing. They're screenshotting and posting on socials. It's free advertising.
Yeah.
I get you want to force people to go to Nintendo Today. Nah, people aren't going to do that. You can't force people.
I just
Yeah.
realized I have all this mess visible.
It's whatever. It's light.
It's backpack, equipment, cards, water bottle, cat.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Stash, you haven't really given any thoughts on the actual show itself.
Hates it.
Worst show of all time.
Not even hilarious.
All right, I'll give you my take real quick. Let's see. I got the press release here. All right, yeah. So Indy of course, obviously I had that on the bingo card that we get the release date. Sure enough, yes, we did. Very excited that's coming out physically as well. And you guys know I reviewed the game last year. And I said it will come out on Switch too. So here we are, happy to play it again. Fallout 4, again, excited for it. I platinumed Fallout 4 on PS5. And I'm excited to go back. So I think that says a lot. Oblivion Remastered. Again, that was on my bingo card. Excited for it. I want to see some more information on it. You know, I want to see if we're going to get like mouse Joy-Con support. Because I feel like that's a no-brainer. But you never know. Because things that are no-brainers, you know, we don't get it. So it'll be interesting to see. And this was dated 2026. There's no seasonality to it. So my takeaway was that the footage we saw today, not only did it not look as good as I would have liked it to have looked, but I also factor in that it was on the live stream, the YouTube compression, and that I do wonder how recent this build is. It could be from like December, January. And if this game's not coming out till, I would presume, later in the year, like fall, at this rate. Otherwise, why wouldn't you say it's coming out spring or summer? I presume it's after that. I think they got time to polish it up. Tokyo Scramble, no interest, really. It looked like the game I just reviewed, Code Violet on PS5, but worse. I did not recommend that game. Resident Evil Requiem, obviously, yeah, that was on the card. I'm getting Resident Evil 7 through 9 early from Capcom for review on Switch 2. So look forward to that. Very excited for it. Same with Pragmata. Be reviewing that on Switch 2 and Monster Hunter Stories. So all the Capcom games that are coming out. Orbitals, you know, it already looked cool. Seeing more gameplay today was good. Art style's nice.
I'm sold on the game.
Yeah,
like it's someone who really
Michaela
enjoys
and I will play.
It looks like another one of those kind of games.
I was just telling Michaela, I was like, we'll play this together. It'll be like, you know, Split Fiction and It Takes Two. So she's excited for it. Obviously, Rebirth was also on my bingo card, and that we'd get a release date. Now, just like everybody else, though, I wasn't expecting it this soon. So I'm really excited for that. Like that's a nice treat to be getting that in June, and that just tells me that they want to get these out the door for a reason, which means 3 is. We already know if you read the developer interviews for Final Fantasy 7 Part 3, that it is moving along extremely well. I've retweeted some of that stuff, and this just tells me that everything is on track. So Part 3 is going to be coming probably sooner than we expect. Kyoto Zanudu game, no interest. Grand Blue Fantasy, I've played it on PS5. It's cool. I think it could do well on Switch 2. Paranormal Site, no, not really interested. I hope it does well, though. It's a Square Enix game, which I was surprised to see that. Turok. Again, we saw this last year. This is the first time we're finding out that it's coming to Switch 2. I was already excited for it. I grew up on Turok on 64.
Me too.
Yeah, love these games, man. So, and I think this looks great. I love that you have the first person, or you have the, you know, the shoulder, over the shoulder, third person. That's really interesting to me. I like that they're giving us those options. Like you look at a game that recently did that, like Avatar on PS5. They just added in the over the shoulder, you know, third person perspective, and I think it's done wonders for the game. Digimon, So again, I reviewed this on PS5. It was my first time playing any Digimon game, and I made that crystal clear in the review that I've never played these. I didn't watch the show. I'm the perfect test subject to play this game and let you know if it's good or not from someone who has nothing to do with the fandom. And I really enjoyed it. Like, so what was interesting though is that I had played it, a few weeks before it came out. And so I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like watching the trailer, I'm like 60 FPS on Switch 2. It was running 30 on PS5. I'm like, I'm thinking, did it get a day one patch or something? And I just missed that. Sure enough, no, I talked to Bandai Namco today to ask them about this. And that 60 FPS is going to come as a patch for PS5 and Xbox the same day Digimon Story comes out on Switch 2. Interestingly enough. Yeah, so I was like, what are the odds that Switch 2 is the one leading the charge to get better performance for the other consoles? Like, never would I have imagined that. And that was one thing I talked about in the review is that, like, hey, just heads up, yes, it is 30 frames per second. However, the game it plays fine. It's a really fun game. It doesn't matter what I like 60, sure. So the fact that there's 4K 30 or 1080 60 is cool because the visuals were soft as well on PS5. Like I felt like it was running at 1080 30 on PS5. So that's very interesting. Looking forward to playing that nonetheless. Valheim, look, to me, this looks, first off, I've heard great things about it. But to me, this looks like a game that doesn't have a clear ending, which we all know I ain't got time for that shit. Okay? I ain't got time for that. I'll never get anything done. So I hope it does well, though, on Switch 2. And I think it's cool it has the mouse Joy-Con support as well, based on like the things you do in the game, the building that you do. I think that's great. Again, I mentioned Monster Hunter Stories 3 a moment ago, but I do want to say that I am really excited for this one because from the moment we saw it, the scope has changed. Like, this is a bigger game. Monster Hunter Stories 1 and 2 versus 3. It's expanded a lot. I've read some developer interviews as well, and that is exactly what they have said. So they said what I was thinking and then what you guys were thinking when we saw that trailer. So I'm excited for that. This Captain Tsubasa soccer game. First off, we saw 2 soccer games in the Direct. Nobody had that on their bingo card. We'd see 2 soccer games.
I was waiting to get a third one, so it could be like this is the Soccer Direct.
Right, dude? That's crazy. It was odd. I will say, though, I've never played this game. And for a soccer game, it looks like it has a lot of personality. It is Bandai Namco, so like I could definitely review it if I want. We'll see when it comes out if I have time. It looks interesting though, actually. The Bomberman collection. Look, man, I love Bomberman. I grew up renting the multi-tap for Super Nintendo from Gamers, where we grew up renting games. And so a lot of fun memories with Bomberman. I wish it had online play. That would have made me buy it as soon as I hit the eShop today. But it doesn't. And that sucks because it's just like, all right, it's hard to get 4 friends over at the same time in your 40s to play Bomberman. And I'm not really interested in playing it by myself. That kind of sucks. Yeah. And a really nice physical edition shown today. Full cartridge, steelbook, Switch 1 edition that's in the form of a Super Nintendo box, Switch 2 edition that comes with a sleeve and a steelbook. They did a nice job with that. Hollow Knight Switch 2 edition. Again, that was free. So always happy for that. Adventures of Elliot. Again, I'll be reviewing that early. And you guys know I can't wait for that. I made a video on it. Andres, did you play that demo
Which
for
one?
Adventures of Elliot?
The first one, yeah. Yeah, I love the demo.
Yeah, dude. So good,
Yeah.
right? Like it's HD 2D.
I didn't realize
Zelda.
that they were gonna do like a whole. Yeah, I mean, I definitely kind of like felt like it was like a 2D Zelda made by Square Enix.
Yep.
I kind of want them to remake a Zelda now, like in
Yeah.
that style. Like I think they would do a really good job.
I do too.
I didn't realize there was going to be a lot of time travel in it. Is that new information?
No, so I think at the end of the demo,
I guess there was like some sort of weird clock gear thing. I just didn't realize that it was going
that's
to
where
be
the
us
demo
going
ends.
going to different ages. Yeah,
Yeah, and the full
I didn't
title,
really think about it. I guess
the full title is The Adventures of Elliot, the something time,
Millennium
Tales.
something. Yeah, that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm super excited for that though. Again, because it is like HD 2D Zelda, and it's Square Enix, man. Like I trust them to do a good job. The Arcade Archives, yeah. Like I have Ninja Gaiden 2 up on my shelf for NES. This is no different than that version. If it was like the arcade versions, that'd be more interesting. Cool Borders, again, I still own Cool Borders on PS1. I don't know. Wasn't too impressed with the lineup. eFootball, don't care. Dreamlight Valley, I don't care. Michaela might want to try that out. PGA comes out tomorrow. I knew that. Not going to play it. Don't have time. WWE, again, I just wish it was Revenge or No Mercy. Shadow Tactics, Blades of the Shogun. So, like right after the direct, I got an email from this developer asking if I wanted to review it on Switch too. And I was like, yeah, like we just saw this game, but it was part of a sizzle. And so I looked it up, and it came out on like Steam and PS4. It's 9 out of 10 on Steam. GOG 4.7 out of 5. Really good reviews. So I said, yeah, you know what? This actually looks really cool. And it uses the mouse Joy-Con. It's a real-time tactics game. So it's not like Final Fantasy Tactics. Which is turn-based. This is real-time tactics. So it'll be interesting. Scott Pilgrim EX. I am excited for that. I am looking forward to it. Again, I already knew about this. Tales of Arise Beyond the Dawn Edition. This is the first time hearing about it. I'll be getting that for review because it's Bandai Namco, so I'm excited for that. And then Reanimal, again, we already knew about this. It's coming out next week. So yeah, like here's how I look at it. Several of these games I'm going to be playing and reviewing. I think a good chunk of them. The highlights was probably Rebirth's release date. Seeing that coming in June. Finding out Turok's coming. Digimon Story. Finding out that that's coming over because that was new. Bomberman Collection was nice to see. We got dates on Elliot. All that. Most of this stuff was on the bingo card, and I expected all of that. So it's not. There's no shock and awe, but all this stuff is really good stuff. That's how I look at it. So I enjoyed the direct, but I play so many games. I never go into a direct hoping I see something specific. You know what I mean?
I don't know how you have the time.
I
Hmm.
don't either. I don't sleep. I don't sleep very much. No, I'm sleeping like 4 to 6 hours, and the rest I'm working.
Like if I'm playing a game, it's like one game every few weeks. Like I'm still working through Resident Evil 2 Remake. I'm doing the second run, doing the side stuff. And I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, what do I play next? Should I finally play Horizon Remastered, or should I play Resident Evil 4 Remake before Requiem comes out?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm that's where I'm at. That's good, and that's probably what I'm gonna play for February. You know, like I might
Yeah.
dabble, do a few levels in Galaxy 2, finish up my second run of Prime 4, you know. Like I'll do different little things. By the way, I would have played through all of Prime 4 already, but I've been saving it for live streams, which is why I haven't. Yeah. But I don't know. I just don't know how you have all the time. It's
I had
incredible.
to shift my mindset. That was the biggest thing, is that the way you just described playing is how I always played video games too. But yeah, I just had to figure out how to shift it and attack things differently. More like it's work, you know. Like it's job, it's commitment kind of thing, versus playing it as a hobby, like something that I love doing, which is what I've done my whole life, right? So yeah, it's been interesting. It has. You look at things differently. But obviously I still enjoy it very much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hasn't lessened your enjoyment of games, has it?
No, and yeah, I know that can happen for a lot of people. But no, this will always be something that I get to do, not something that I have to do. Like it's an honor to be able to do this. It's a dream. Dream job.
I mean, you gotta have that mindset, because I've reviewed some games before, and I did not like how I was playing the game to hit embargoes, and I'm like, dude, this is I don't even trust my own review, if I'm being completely honest, because this is not how most people are gonna play the game.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it's so interesting. Like, I feel this pressure when a big game comes out that I cover to like play it as fast as possible, but that kind of like ruins the experience for me, like and so I don't know, it's a tough balance I'm still trying to figure out. Like, for example, with Donkey Kong Bonanza, I took my sweet time playing the game. I made sure to enjoy it, But what that would mean is I would probably play it like an hour or two a night, sometimes 30 minutes. Sometimes I'll skip a night. Sometimes I'll play 3 or 4 hours. Like it was just kind of like random, and then so 2 months pass and I finally, beat the game, right? Like, because I go for 100% completion, or, as much as possible. And so by that point, I'm like, oh, well, I don't know why I'm going to review Bonanza. I still haven't done my review for it because it's so much time has passed. Like, I don't even know when it even matters to do the review. But so it's kind of challenging for games like that.
So
because I don't want to
get
just ruin
that.
my experience and bliss it either.
I totally get that. And so Nintendo had sent me Bonanza and they'd sent me Prime. And there's I have to have my review out within 14 days, right? And so I have a countdown. I know what the expectations are. Now, I didn't I made it clear that, hey, I'll have this out, but it's gonna be on the 14th day. And it's because I want to take as much time as possible with these games, because Metroid, we waited 18 years for this. DK, what is it? It was 26 years, 99 to 2025. So I'm going to take as much time as possible. I'll totally get it out on time, but I am going to wait till like the last minute so I can really soak it in. But then I look at something like Rebirth. So I played that on PS5 when it came out, and I have right around, I think, 250 hours. So that game was so big, Andres, and like it took up so much time, like over a month. It
Yeah.
was probably like over 6 weeks, which that was a lot to play every day. even over that course of time. And after I was done, I'm like, I don't even, how can I summarize this in something that, like, how can I condense my experience in something that today's audience could actually watch, which means, it has to hit probably 10 to 12 minutes at the most. How can I do this? How can I summarize 250 hours? And I ended up not doing a review for it. And this is when I was still like figuring out how to review games too. But now when it comes out on Switch 2, it's like I already beat the game. So once it comes out, once I get my review code, I don't need to beat the whole game. I already beat it. I have all the trophies. I did everything. So that'll be a nice way for me to play the game again and actually review it. That's one thing that's nice too about some of these games when they come to Switch too. Some of them I've already beat. So I'm just kind of like revisiting and remembering everything that's great about this game, remembering the things that I don't like about this game. And then it makes reviews like that easier. So that's one thing that helps. Obviously, that doesn't happen all the time, though.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I think we don't really have to do a whole lot else here. We kind of talked about the direct, went over our general thoughts. There's Eric that needs to get over his as well as he's throwing his hands up in the air. What are you doing forgetting about me? I didn't forget about you. I was focusing on something else over here. That said, Eric, get your thoughts in here, and then we're going to go to the super chats and stuff.
Yeah. No, I'll make mine super quick because you guys have gone over pretty much everything.
It was nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Two games that kind of stood out. Valheim. That one looks like it could be a lot of fun.
It is. It's been out for a while on PC. It's crazy fun.
You act like I play it on PC. No. I know. But and then the one that was kind of, it looks like it could be really good, but it was one of those that kind of fall into, was it really weirdly edited? Was Tokyo Scramble. Because when like some of the traps set for the dinosaurs hit, it was like just the weirdest reactions from the dinosaurs itself, and it's like all of a sudden they like go backwards, fall over a little bit, and it's like,
yeah,
is this just terrible editing, or is this actually how the game runs and it looks really kind of jank?
That's what I mean. Like, it reminded me of Code Violet, and Code Violet is a game with, it's the same premise with the dinosaurs and everything, and it did weird stuff like that often. And I was like, this looks like the same game, but not in 4K.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, great to get outside of those two games that I kind of wanted to call out specifically. I mean, great to get the couple big games at the end there with Elder Scrolls, Fallout, Indiana Jones, those types of games here. So it's just great to finally see, some big games coming to Switch 2.
Yeah. I mean, that's maybe my takeaway too, is like just seeing more and more AAA games and seeing what they look like, regardless if you think they look great or not. Just they're there. So Switch 2 can have them in some form. The big thing I think moving forward is just more day and date. More things like Requiem and Pragmata, more day and date stuff.
Well, I think the longer, obviously, Switch 2 is out and people have, gotten access to dev kits. I know they're all pretty much out there and available now. I believe that'll become more and more, of a thing.
Yeah,
it's all day and date.
You know what makes me also think there's a general direct coming out? I'm thinking about it. Jez Corden. He said Call of Duty was supposed to be here in a few months.
Mm-hmm.
And that was not. That was literally not in this direct.
There's so many reasons why. Okay, like I think they get Resident Evil out the door.
Like,
Capcom.
Like that's another sign that like there has to be another direct coming.
But look at Capcom, dude. Get Resident Evil out the door, and then shortly thereafter we'll get announcements of 2, 3, 4. Get Monster Hunter Stories out the door, and then shortly thereafter, Monster Hunter Rise. I think there's a lot of balls that are waiting to drop, so to speak.
Yeah. Like so much evidence that like there's big announcements that are supposed to happen soon. And they weren't.
Just want to say there's such a thing as confirmation bias. Sometimes when we want to find signs, we tend to find more.
Yeah. Of course.
That said, you know, someone hearing that a game was supposed to be here and it wasn't, you know.
Well, they didn't say here. They just said it's supposed to come out in a few months. They said it last month. So a few months, if they
On
said it
Twitter?
last month, that's like, yeah, Jez Corden said it. So if you can't find it, it was a reply to someone. I think I can dig up the link. It's in one of my videos.
If I search Call of Duty,
In my most
Jez
recent
Corden-
video, the summary of leaks for the direct, it's in that video. My source
Okay.
description. You can
I'll
find it
find
there.
it.
Yeah,
Find it.
that's why I put sources in myself. It also helps me out. When I'm trying to
Bro,
look-
oh yeah, sometimes like what sometimes I'm looking for the most obscure details that I remember from like a year ago, and I'm like,
Yeah.
where the hell is it? I can't find it with all my searches, right? And then I'm like, you know what? I definitely talked about this, so I just searched my own channel, and eventually I'll find the video with it with the sources. I'm like, there it is, there it
yeah.
is.
Yeah. So I know the Jazz one for sure is in the description of my video from yesterday. So to help you find that one really quick. But yeah, like he said that, and that's like, okay, well, Call of Duty is pretty big deal. And that one not being in here when he's heard it's coming out in a few months, is like, okay, well then that could be. And again, guys, I get with confirmation bias. Obviously, they can just announce it. They don't need a direct. But it would be the kind of thing you would expect to be revealed in the direct. First time Call of Duty comes back to Nintendo since Wii U.
Yeah, maybe they don't even want it in a partner showcase. Maybe they want it in a general as a big thing.
It's because it's a big deal. It's the best selling franchise every single year.
Do you guys think it's Black Ops 7 or Warzone?
I'm hoping Warzone.
I think a
want it
lot
to
of people
be
are too.
neither.
What?
I think you just want to wait till November.
No, I just want something. I want Call of Duty Black Ops 2 remastered.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't think that's the one.
It just seems
probably
like
right.
it seems like Black Ops 7's, not the best one to start with to like kick off this.
Yeah. Just get Warzone over and then get whatever the new one is this year.
I think that probably be the
So,
best course of action.
When did Warzone come out? I haven't been paying attention to Call of Duty since Black Ops 2 on Wii U. That's not true. I played Black Ops 3 on elsewhere, but otherwise that was even that was many years ago at this point. But
Tiara, I see you in the chat. You're trying to call, what's the WTF game that Kiwi keeps talking about, blah, blah. I hope it's not a little liar like Nash Riddle. For starters, we're not going to get into Nash Riddle stuff because I'm not going to argue with people whether he's a liar or not. But when it comes to Kiwi talks, well, he's not revealing what the WTF game is. What I want to note is in the 6 games or whatever that he put in that image, Nate the Hate said yesterday that Black Myth Wukong is coming to Switch 2, and that's one of the games that he had on there. That could be the WTF game. He's never going to confirm it publicly, of course, but Nate the Hate straight up said Black Myth Wukong is coming to Switch 2 this year.
I will challenge the Nash Widow liar thing because what is a lie?
Yeah.
What is a lie?
I'm going to leave that alone. And you guys all know if he's wrong, if Nash Riddle's wrong on the I've said this several times. If he's wrong on the direct, if he's wrong on 3D Mario, I'm not covering him anymore.
Okay, well, hold on a second. Let me just
That's
say
my
something though.
Personal choice. Though.
I understand that, but let me say something. If Nate the Hate said there would be a direct and was wrong, would you never cover him again?
No, because he's got literally a decade track record of being right a majority of the time.
All right, at one point, does someone get so many things correct that you just, start to give them some benefit of the doubt when they get 1 or 2 things wrong? At what point?
At what point? At a point where you don't get everyone's hopes up for 3D Mario this year and a general direct when people are starving, and then it doesn't happen. That
So
would
if
be
so,
bad.
okay, if Nate the Hate said the exact same thing was wrong, would you?
I
would
would
you
probably
have the
be.
same-
I would be very cautious on covering him this year because he's
Okay,
so
so-
cautious with his information.
all right.
He would not say that unless he knew. But if he's wrong, that would be really bad. Like, it's really, really bad. It would just be bad. If you get all the
Yeah.
Nintendo fans hype up saying 3D Mario's this year, it's being revealed in the next direct, and then it's not even there, and the direct doesn't even happen.
Yeah. All right. So let me just say this for those who are doubtful of Nash Wheeler's credibility. Now, first off, rumor.
I know
Take
Stash
it with
wants
a
me to
gra-
keep covering him.
Huh?
I know Stash made his opinion known on Twitter. He wants me to keep covering him. Like, even if he's wrong, keep covering him.
I trust him.
Because the fact here's the thing. You have to understand with rumors, it does not matter how reliable they are always susceptible to being wrong, because when you're talking about something that's yet to be confirmed, it's always under flux. You have to understand that. That said, when it comes to, even just considering the possibility, you look at the track record. So if you look at Nashville's track record, we're talking about dozens upon dozens upon dozens of leaks, many of which are left field that were not said or suggested or even predictable by anyone else, and they've gone correct. Who would have said that Virtual Boy would be coming to Nintendo Switch Online? Who would have said that? No one. Nash Weedle did, though. That's coming, right? Like, that's just one of a billion examples. Who would have said, oh, Nintendo's recording a whole bunch of new Wonder Flower audio lines? Who cares about that, right? It was leaked because it was based off real information of the literal Wonder Flower figurine that's coming out with all the new voice lines, right? They're based off real leaks. So anyway, take it with a grain of salt. But if you look at the history, I put out a video like 3 days ago. It's like the what was it? The two big reveals or something. In there, I literally show off like 12 leaks in a row that were all proven correct, that were left field things. Yeah. So you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, it gets to a point where it's more ridiculous to think it's based off nothing than something.
It
now,
is.
That doesn't mean you have to trust it 100%, because you have to take all these things with a grain of salt. But to say it's all nothing, to me, is more, not more off. But anyway.
Just to back up your point a little bit, I see a comment. Nash wildly guesses a hit rate of like 2%. You just tell me you don't pay attention. It's way higher than that. Holy shit, way higher. That's not even I can admit he hits on way higher than 2%. That is just extreme bias and not paying attention to everything he says and everything that's happened. That's just not a fact.
That's the kind of thing you say when you don't want to actually look and pay attention.
You don't want to dig into what he said and what's actually happened. Yeah,
I wouldn't assign them to a research project.
That said,
we don't talk about Zippo for a reason.
You're playing with Nintendo fans' hearts with 3D Mario in a general direct.
I mean, I get what you're saying there. That is definitely, it's a big thing. I was scared to cover it because, like, oh god,
yeah, these are huge swings. That's the thing, and it's like, if you're going to take these huge swings, you better be sure.
But you know what's going to happen, right? You know what's going to happen. There's going to be a direct in March where we get 3D Mario and the next Xenoblade or whatever from Monolith Soft. Yeah. People are going to forget that Nash Wheedle said it, and then we're going to talk about something else 6 months from now, even though there have been like 30 new leaks, and people are going to say the same thing is a liar, even if it's true. That's what's going to happen, because it's happened before.
Yeah.
So
what I think is interesting is there was a time when Nate the Hate was I say wrong because he was wrong. He said when he said, Switch 2 will be revealed in March. This is back in 2024.
Right. He was wrong, but not because he was lying.
He was wrong. And I did stop covering him for a little bit. And then he started only revealing things like for directs that were like a week beforehand. And then he was right again, and then right again, and then right again. It's like, okay, he just learned a lesson. Don't reveal things that soon. And that might be a lesson Nash might learn here. If the general direct doesn't happen, a 3D Mario doesn't happen anytime in the next 2 months, it's like, okay. And then he hits on the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing. It might just be, he just needed to learn a lesson. Don't talk about these things so soon.
Maybe. He is more loose and he has more fun with it.
And I will say, Nate the Hate has not denied him yet. He's literally looking into it, and every time people keep asking him, every day they ask him for an update, he says, I have nothing yet. And I was like 3 days ago, Nate the Hate said, hey, for me to find out if he's right or not, this takes time. The one thing he said recently, though, made no sense to me, and I think he's wrong about. And I'm a little confused. Maybe I got to talk to
Nash or Nate?
Nash. About the the Borderlands 4 on pause.
So
thing.
About that and this is there's another issue I have with this. That wasn't a leak express.
Yeah, I know.
He said it's rumored. and it's very different. And then people said,
Yeah.
"Oh, this is what he believes." He doesn't. That's not what he said.
That's
Right?
a room,
Right? Like,
which is weird because logically it didn't even make sense what he said. Didn't even make sense. Like Gearbox is not Rockstar. Doesn't make any sense to me. And then Nate the Hate came on and said, "No, dude, this game's been on pause for a while, since like late last year. Like, this isn't even new news to him, anyways." So like other insiders are basically saying, "Well, he's wrong," and it's like, okay, yeah, but he did use the word rumor. But then, and that could just be Nash. I don't know. I'm not like Attack the Battlefield. I don't know Nash very well at all. But it's like, he has to know that people have been covering him. Like, you shouldn't just throw things out if you're not sure. And that's something he obviously threw out that he wasn't sure about. So, I don't know. Don't ask me. It's a whole weird thing to me. All right. That being said, let's get to the. Sorry, there's a little sidetrack because I saw people debating about it in the chat because Nashville's like the number one debated thing in my
one
chat.
last thing. I am Jix says, "Why is Andres defending Nash so hard?" Because if someone says something that's not true, are you just going to be like, "Oh, sure, yeah, the sun is blue"?
I wish that Nashville spoke English because I know he'd come on the show.
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't. So like I have no. I mean, I guess I can maybe try to set up something with him and Attack the Backlog and have Attack the Backlog.
If someone said Nintendo Prime is a lying SOB, I'd be like, no.
But right? Look at his titles. that would be what they would say. Look at his titles. Like,
I'd be like, okay, well, he's actually a good person.
That's actually a good person. All right, let's go ahead and throw. This is like a huge debate. It happens in my chat all the time. There actually will be something. Hey, Attack the Bat though. Do you think? I know you're in the chat. Do you think he would be interested? Maybe coming on a pod sometime and talking about all of this kind of stuff. And like you'd have to do live translation. It might be really weird for him because the rest of us speak English. But I don't know. I don't have a connection with him to know if it's something he'd be interested in, because it would be definitely an interesting show. And he wouldn't have to stay for the full 5 hours. That's too much. Anyways, bringing up Samus Hunter. Yeah, you know that I stopped covering her like years ago, right? Cool. Moving on. Demonic Brawler. I feel as if we don't have to wait until June because everything that wasn't shown today is evidence that a general direct is coming soon. So a lot of people are feeling. But again, as Andres brings up, confirmation bias is a thing. We want one. So everything feels like evidence of one. That said, that doesn't mean it's not. That's the problem. Like, it could also be evidence. That's one of those things. Like, I've talked about, I made a whole video on this before, I think last year, the year before, about confirmation bias and how I'm guilty of it. We're all guilty of it because we all want things. So we're looking for things that support what we want. Okay. Next up, this one's for Eric. Bring back Snowboard Kids.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Watch that sort of go on every week one. Steak 1024. In under a year of finding this podcast has made me actually look forward to every Wednesday night. Hell yeah, Steak.
Thank
Hell
you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Steak.
By the way, I did say Samus Hunter out loud, so.
Yep.
Oh, is there so many days since Samus Hunter was mentioned?
Yeah,
It's been a long time.
The chat tries to get me to say it all the time, and I stop myself because every time I do, I got to play the Here She Comes Wreck Today sound. And so they always try to get the gotcha me every single time. It's an inside joke, guys, because I'm basically the reason anyone found out who Samus Hunter was. And then that turned out to be a massive mistake in the end. But it's whatever. Doesn't matter. It's all in the past. You live, you learn. You know? Jay, been watching the pod since we called Tears of the Kingdom Breath of the Wild 2 when it was only you and Eric. Oh my God.
Wow.
Damn.
Respect.
Holy shit. That dude, that must have been before like Mike and Andres came on as hosts.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
It was like co-hosting it with me.
I mean, we probably did a couple shows together as collabs, right? But
yeah,
I started going on your show long term, like to start 2023 or the end of 2022.
Yeah.
There.
I feel like this must have been back when we had the set in the other corner, and when we had a guest on, they'd be on the TV.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I remember that.
That's when it was just me and Eric.
I remember that.
Dude, kind of crazy. I had this whole vision for the show and had none of the equipment to pull it off.
Yep.
And now we totally abandoned that vision. That vision is just not realistic. Maybe if I get a video wall like Kind of Funny has, then that'd be kind of neat. But all right. AJ Rack says, let's get those Pokemon games, Symphony of the Night and Chrono Trigger. Hell yeah.
Yep.
Matthew G says, thanks for all the content, Nate and company. My daughter and I love your channel. Thank you so much for the compliment. I appreciate that. Joycey J says, I say this for the podcast every week, like an episode of A Scandal. Congrats on 100 episodes. Yeah, you guys seen Scandal at all? Am I the only one who even knows what that show is?
I know what it is.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with the.
It has some vibes
thing.
like our show. I'll just say that. I haven't seen a ton of episodes of it, but it's very reminds me of the podcast every once in a while when I watch it. I'm like, hey. And look, didn't we just have a Nash Weedle scandal there for a moment, guys? It just happened with us in the chat. Sky Sword Alyssa, frequent guest, happy 100th episode. Stoke Elliott got a release date. Yeah, dude. Yes. That game, I am day one-ing that. That looks so good.
I'm one daying it.
One day in it.
That's not actually. I mean, I doubt I actually will one day it.
Oh,
but
Joycey, I see what you meant, Joycey. Okay, Mr. Pluggy69, Mario Tennis Fever next week. I'm waiting on the reviews. I'm very optimistic after the previews, but I'm waiting on the reviews.
My head's already hot.
Before I pull the trigger. Matthew G coming in with the 50. Just wanted to get you over the 69 mark. Thanks for all the great stuff. Thank you so much, man. I do appreciate that. That's a big one. Sky Sword Alyssa that says we got one of our wishes, Oblivion on Switch 2.
Yep.
Some people wanted it. It's there. We'll see. I think people might end up being satisfied with it. We'll see.
It's
Just
there.
depends. As long as it runs decently, I think some people will deal with some of the visual not being as good. But we'll see. If it also runs like shit on top, then well. I just don't know if I trust the studio that made it to do a good port job. And isn't it a UE5 game? I think it was made with UE5. And UE5
I want to say yeah, but I don't know.
Unreal Engine 5 has a lot of problems on almost every platform, but yeah. True Dude, congrats on 100 episodes. Guess who's your latest podcast sponsor? Yeah, I saw that earlier. Yeah, we'll as I said, I'll be reaching out to you on Patreon to see what you want to do for sponsoring an episode later this month, where you just want to shout out, or if you want to shout out a product or whatever you want to do. I'll be in touch privately. You're actually, I think, the first sponsor we've ever had for the Nintenbyte. We haven't had one since the Nintendo Prime days. We only had one back then. So thank you so much, man. I'll hit you up privately on that. Joey Pitts, I'm excited for Elliot. Never saw the price though. It is $59.99. So $60.
Is it exclusive for Switch 2?
No.
It's a Switch 1, Switch 2 title?
PlayStation as well.
It's on everything, I think.
X, yeah, Steam.
Is it
the new modern Square Enix?
I don't know. I thought it was like a timed exclusive or something. Maybe it was just a demo that was.
Square is the demo might have been, but Square is very much we're multi-plat day one everything. And if you saw their financials, which most people don't pay attention to some of the third-party financials, everything went up, and that's because they've been bringing things to all platforms.
I mean,
so, makes sense. You're going to make more money if you're a third-party company and you go to where all the customers are. I mean, who knew? Who knew? Who knew that you maybe should have made this decision many, many years ago? But it's what it is.
Not a okay.
Jimzo just did a super sticker for 149 Australian. Thank you so much. Wink Demand. Do you think we're getting a general direct same time next week? No. Mario Tennis releases Thursday next week. Not unheard of. They did a direct on. No, they revealed Switch 2 a day a game.
Donkey Kong came out.
Yeah, Donkey Kong Country Returns
HD.
Yeah,
but it wasn't a direct
time.
No, it was not a direct. That is true.
I think you allow it to breathe. We know what's coming out this month. There's a lot of good games. We got Resident Evil this month.
Yeah, I think the week of Virtual Boy, if it is at all this month, is the only possible week.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's March. If it's happened at all, obviously, for speculation purposes.
Yeah.
Oh look! Hold on, look at the chat.
Not this week.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
TB, if you have more information, go tweet it out or something so I can cover it. I need more stuff for my video tomorrow. Let's go. All right. And if I can reassure people on more direct stuff, maybe they'll be less mad about what happened today. I don't know. They're still going to be mad. It is what it is. TARDIS. Somebody interviewed Nintendo president about Animal Crossing Splatoon Theories update. Seems a game could come out next year. Check DM. What do you think? So that actually was not an interview. That was the investor Q&A. Is what that was. Which I guess you could argue is a type of interview, but it happens all the time. I have been glancing at a translation of it. I'm not so sure I agree that that's how that translation reads, but it's all machine translated, not the official Nintendo. So I don't know if that's how I read it. I read it more as they're trying to transition people smoothly from Switch 1 to Switch 2. Seems to be the whole point of these Switch 2 updates.
That's how I read it too.
It's a matter of interpretation. But again, these are not the official translations from Nintendo. So obviously there could be, maybe it does lean your way. I don't know until the official translation comes out.
I haven't read it yet, but I would just kind of assume if we see a Switch 2 edition for something, it means we're probably not getting. I mean, it kind of depends, but like if we just got the Animal Crossing Splatoon, the Animal Crossing edition, I don't think and we also got a Splatoon update. Like I don't think that means we're getting both next year. I mean, maybe, but it just kind of feels like that's meant to kind of hold us over for a longer period of time. Like if they both are coming out next year, I would just kind of think, just wait till next year. Maybe a small update, but these are big updates. They're not small. They're not small updates. They're really big updates. So, yeah, I would just kind of keep my expectations in check for those.
Oh, and just a fun note, since we mentioned it during the show, Tat the Backlog said he actually understands English. He doesn't speak it. He will ask Nash tomorrow if he wants to come on and do a show with us.
You know,
I'd love to have him on.
ATB would come on and do translating.
I would like to come on for that because at least then I'd feel a little bit more comfortable because Attack the Backlogs actually asked me to do a show between him, me,
let's
and
make it all
Nash.
big
But the
thing.
thing is, I haven't felt really comfortable because I don't think my Spanish is strong enough to like have full understanding and carry the conversation. But if it's like, you know, kind of like a mix, you know, then it's, I think, maybe a little bit more.
Yeah. And
manageable.
I'll say this, Attack the Backlog. If he can't like make our usual time, we could probably try to make something work on for like a bonus episode that's more in the middle of the day if we need to for that kind of special occasion. I know Gamebird probably wouldn't be able to make that one, but if we have Andres here, Stash, I know he could probably find a way to make that work because he works, you know, from home. I obviously am here, so we can find a way to make that like a viable show if it needs to be at an earlier time.
You can practice your Spanish.
No hablo español. There's what you got from me.
Ni un poquito.
No.
Ni un poquito.
No.
Yo puedo hablar un poquito. Entonces,
Look, Albano,
de
that's all I
pronto
got.
vamos a poder hacer algo, pero
Dude,
va a
I was
ser un
listening
poco
to
messy.
their podcast. I could pick out like every sentence they said. Oh, I know that word. Oh, I know
Yeah,
that.
you'll
word.
hear the keywords. Yeah, when they say a video game in English.
Because I took Spanish 101, and then I was starting my second Spanish class, and I realized, oh, what's the requirements? Oh, I just need to take 2 language classes in high school. Then I asked the student counselor, could I take French 101 as my second one? Yeah, sweet. So I'm not going to know any foreign language. I'm just going to take 101 classes.
Yeah.
So I understand some very basic Spanish and some very basic French. So I was gaming the system to keep my grades high in high school. It is what it is. Okay. Taker 6 says, Andres, as a South Floridian, can you confirm iguanas fall from trees there and some people eat them?
I saw a video of this online recently, and that was the first time in my life I had ever seen anything like that. Having been born in Miami and lived here most of the time, I've never seen that happen. It makes sense. I get it. I bet maybe in Central Florida there are some freaks that do that, but I have never seen anyone do that in Miami. I will tell you though, there are certain parts of Miami you go to, like they're like closer to the beach, or to the Everglades. Like there are some big lizards here. there are some big lizards here. I don't see them too often where I'm at because I mean, I don't know. I see them sometimes. Like there are some lizards that are like this big, but like thick ones. But if you go like closer to the beach, you'll find lizards like this. You know, you might find iguanas like, you know.
Yeah, the big bastards.
You can find them. You know, especially if you go by like the rivers and stuff and the canals, like you could find some. But I have never seen anyone pick up an iguana that's fallen because it's too cold and like eat them. I've never seen that here. I don't know anyone who does that. Also, rarely gets so cold that happens here. Like we're going through a cold front right now. This is the closest it's been in Miami in like decades or something.
How cold is it?
Well, it got to like 36 like a couple of days ago, but it's getting back up now.
Yeah, that's legit cold.
Okay.
That's
That's
almost
the coldest it's been. That's all the coldest it's ever. It was only briefly there. Like I think today it's like in the 60s or something.
Yeah,
which is cold for Miami standards.
yeah, but it hits the 60s there sometimes, and down in the 30s. That's legitimately winter, like northern winter weather.
I had to stop wearing shorts.
Oh darn!
I actually went to practice basketball in the morning a few days ago, and it was in the 40s, and I went in a tank top and shorts, and I was like, I can handle this. My knees and hands were on fire for like 36 hours afterwards.
See, I would have been just fine, but that's because we're used to that weather around here.
I mean, after I warmed up, I kind of got used to it, but it like because of how cold it was, like the control and coordination I had with like practicing my shots and dribbling was definitely compromised.
Yeah, even 36 degrees, I can wear my shorts and t-shirt and be fine. It's when we start to get down to like the teens or the negatives with wind chill, I'm like, okay, yeah, no, I'm done. I gotta bundle up. It's cold. But when I say bundle up, I mean I'm putting on a sweatshirt and wearing pants. I might still be rocking my sandals without socks on.
Oh my god.
We did have it was like a week or two ago. We did have one where it hit like negative 30, and I was like, all right, I'm wearing my tennis shoes today. Just the tennis shoes. That's the only difference.
Damn.
I think I did put a winter hat on when we were in Madison. That's when it was really cold. I did break down and buy a winter hat, which I mean,
it was what negative.
It was bad.
25, 30.
It was pretty bad.
So,
and it's not even the cold, it's the wind.
Yeah, it's the wind.
Smack in your ear. I'm like, no, I need a hat.
I will say this: I have eaten alligator before a few times.
Oh yeah,
so have I. I like
delicious. There is restaurants that serve alligator bites here, but like when you go up to like Central Florida, there's like a few. It's like a little mix. It's more common there, and so it's kind of nice to like get like I don't even know how to describe it. I guess it's like chicken but tastier.
Oh. Attack the Backlog is being evil in the chat right now.
Oh boy.
LCC Gaming asked him, have you heard anything about the next direct? And he said he heard something today. Damn it. And of course, he's our next super chat as well. Stash, can I have the week's lotto numbers, please? He is pretty good at his predictions over there.
Attack the Backlog. By the way, to the point we were talking about earlier. Attack the Backlog. I don't know if he wants to be called a leaker or an insider.
Yeah.
But the information he has provided leaks. And while his sample size may be smaller than someone like Nate the Hate or Nash Weedle, his accuracy has been 100%. And this person, who is a friend of mine, friend of everyone on the cast here, has corroborated multiple things said by Nash Weedle. So I'll just say,
yeah, yeah. But his sample size is smaller, and like the whole general direct being before for the end of March and like 3D Mario, that is not stuff. And on that podcast that Attack the Backlog had heard, he just heard there is something, and that was it.
Yes.
Everything else was Nash. But now he's heard something else today about a direct.
Did he say direct? Did he say direct?
He said direct. He was asked about it. LCC asked him, and he said he heard something today. I'm like, oh shit. Which, by the way, it's not
maybe he's responding to someone else in the chat.
It's a positive, because if he heard something, that means it's happening. Anyways, Taker Success says, is Resident Evil 2, 3, or 4 remake on Switch 2?
I haven't announced it yet.
I think I can't remember if that was something Nate said was coming or not.
Someone said it's coming.
I feel like someone said it, but I'm not sure.
Nash has said every Resident Evil is coming.
I suppose you could argue that, that he's
Fair.
put it out there. Then we got TARDIS here. True, but also AC's 25th is coming up. Animal Crossing. They always go big for the 5 anniversaries, right? Yeah. Not the 35th for Zelda. We got a Game & Watch, if you want to call that big. Also love your videos too, Restart. But yeah, surely they'll do more than a Switch 2 update for Animal Crossing's 25th.
Do they celebrate Animal Crossing's anniversary?
I don't think we've ever seen I mean, maybe in game they've maybe thrown some fireworks up or something, but I don't know if we've ever seen like official like products and stuff come out because of anniversaries.
Yeah, I wouldn't. And also anniversaries, even with Mario and Zelda, the ones Nintendo clearly does celebrate.
They're sometimes weak. Sometimes
it kind of depends on what they have lined up. Either they're gonna do something, but it's not necessarily the next big game.
And it's weird too. Like for Zelda's 35th, they had the Game & Watch. Yeah, we had Skyward Sword HD that year. They didn't count that as part of the anniversary. I'm like,
I mean, I count it.
Yeah, I mean, it came out on the 35th anniversary. Why would it count?
To the anniversary.
Aonuma didn't count. He said, "We're for the 35th anniversary. We're just doing the Game & Watch." I'm like, well, what about Skyward Sword? That's like literally coming out.
So, in my opinion, that year had 3 big things for the anniversary: Skyward Sword HD, the Tears of the Kingdom title drop, and then the Game & Watch. It was a sandwich of Zelda anniversary stuff. Not a lot, but all 3 together, there was Zelda love throughout the year.
But Aonuma said only one thing was specifically because of the anniversary, which means the other 2 things would have happened either way. Probably. I think that's probably why he said that.
Yeah, I mean, probably
only one was due to the anniversary. The other 2 were just lucky timing, coincidental timing. And then, all right, we had a super sticker from LCC Gaming for 99 cents. Thank you so much. There was another super chat, but I'm not going to put it up. It has to do with the Activision stuff in the files. I'm sure you guys know we don't really go over political based stuff on this show or my channel. So I actually I don't think this person was trolling. I'm reading the question. It seems like actually a pretty legit question because it is something that happened in gaming news this week. It's just not the kind of stuff we're going to cover on our channel. So or on this podcast. There might be other podcasts talking about it, I'm sure, if you want to get some people's thoughts. But I don't think this person was actually trying to be malicious. They just want to know. Yeah. We sometimes do get a malicious person in my channel, but I don't think that's what this actually looks like. A well-intended question just isn't a topic that we talk about. So, okay, and that's it. That's what we got. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. That was episode 100 of the entire Nintenbyte Podcast, or episode 39 of season 3. I want to thank Andres Restart for popping on here. Really nice, actually. He stayed longer than he said he would because he was probably having a damn good time. Now we're talking about setting up a show with Nash Weedle, which is sick. And you know what? You never know when you come on here. And I got to say, as I said when he popped in, it felt right because he was one of the original co-hosts, the original co-host of this show.
Yeah.
To come on for an anniversary episode. Also the day of a direct. Pretty badass. And helped fill in since Gamebird had to dip out early. So really was nice. And it so happens that Andres and Gamer were friends before I even realized they were friends. So kind of ironic that he's now the co-host, but they knew each other before the show. Anyways.
Oh, just want to say the NBA trade deadline has ended. Yeah, we both got to keep our favorite players, and I don't care that it means both of our teams are screwed. I was trying to give you a 5, but it's fine.
Yeah.
You get to keep Giannis. I get to pretend Hero will be something someday.
Yeah, I hope it wasn't that people just didn't want Hero. Although these people wanted Giannis.
I mean, what?
I was gonna say Stash and our team made a trade. It was very small, but
very small minor. And then we waived the one guy already, so he's out of here. Yeah.
I mean, I think if it wasn't for Hero being injured all year, a lot of people would want him. But
Giannis is injured all year. Doesn't seem to be a problem.
Giannis is a whole other player.
I think there's levels to this.
There is, right? Like you would get Hero because you're just
You're hoping he keeps going in the trajectory he once was on
without being injured.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Giannis is already there. Like when he's not hurt, Giannis is one of the best. It is what it is. Like period.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not a trajectory. He already's there.
He's a top 5 player.
Yeah, he's literally already there. If he's healthy and on the court, forget about it.
You might not even like that I called him a top 5 player. You might be like, no, he's top 2 or 3, like for sure.
I mean, here's the thing. He played last year's playoffs, and he was really fucking good. But he had to try to carry the team because Dame got hurt. And it was like, well, shit, then. Yeah. He can't. He's not LeBron, and the East isn't as weak as it once was. And he lost to the team that went to the finals. So what are you going to do?
He needs a good team, which,
yeah,
you know,
really
every player does. Even LeBron needs a good team.
Yeah. Is what it is. All right, guys. That's going to do it. Andres Restart, want to plug anything you got going on?
Subscribe to Andres Restart. Watch my videos. I'd appreciate it.
There you go. There you go. Obviously, Eric.
Yeah. Find me here. Clips channel.
Awesome. Before we get the stash, just remind you guys go check out Gamebird as well. He crossed 3,000 subscribers recently. I'm really happy for him. His videos have actually been performing really well lately too. So I told him you just gotta get the content out. He makes good content. Just gotta get more of it out. He's got another video I know in the works, a big collab he said earlier. And then obviously Paul Gale Network. Shout out to him as well for coming on. I got to start remembering to schedule Paul Gale every time that financials drop because he's a big numbers guy. Thunderstash.
Yep. Thunderstash Gaming on YouTube. Next few reviews are I'm wrapping things up with Neo 3. I've been playing that for the last couple of weeks. Jimmy and the Pulsating Mass on Switch. Demon Tides. Little Nemo. And Ease X Proud Nordics. Probably the next few ones. There's a lot coming up.
Yeah.
A lot.
All right. There you go. And as the type of the backlog said, don't forget his lotto numbers as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we got one more super chat here quick before I go here. Oh, yeah, I almost forgot. This comes from Taker610. The Seattle Seahawks are going to win the Super Bowl this Sunday. Let's go.
There we go.
We'll see. Drake May's healthy now, apparently. So we'll see. Oh, and if we're going to bring up NFL briefly, some people are mad. Matthew Stafford is MVP. He won by a solitary vote over Drake May. And some people are really mad because one vote went to Justin Herbert. So, don't know. Drama. It is what it is. All right, guys. I'm Nintendo Prime. You know what's up. We'll have a news video tomorrow. You guys already know some of what we're going to be covering with what Special Nick said. Obviously, we'll be covering the physical version for Indy. We gotta make sure we give attention to that and whatever the hell else goes on. Maybe some new rumors coming from atop the backlog even. I don't know. Something direct related to give you guys some hope. We'll see. Catch you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.